Good morning, Good morning, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of NDB Media's Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday morning quarterbacks on Saturday. Boy, am I butchering that intro. Good morning, and good morning. June 7th, 2025. I'm your host, the Scorekeeper, and this is the longest running program. Well, actually, the twin of the longest running program on the internet. We've been live since September of 2008, which is Monday Night America, and now Sports Talk with the Guys, which began in November of 2008. And absolutely awesome. When Red versus Blue went down, that was it. They were 24 years, and they're gone. And we're still here. So we're probably going to be here till Armageddon, Doomsday, whatever. But, hey, it pretty much is for a lot of teams right now. It is, I think I said June 7th, 2025. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I am the Scorekeeper. Head on over to ndbmedia.net, where you can check out a lot of stuff that's going on and on the network. And we're really happy to be here. So let's do what we do. Let's go around the horn. Everyone who's joining me in the chat room, please. Sorry. Man, it's not a good morning. Let me know who you are and where you hail from, and we can get this misery going today. It is 65 degrees right now here in Southern California. It's going to get to a high of 81. Great. But it will be cooler at the same time tomorrow. It's going to be 59 degrees, allegedly. Sunrise was at 5:39, which is approximately 43 minutes ago. Sunset will be at 8 p.m. as we do our long trudge towards the longest day of the year, which is closing in real soon. Humidity is 72%. Yeah, but it's actually a good humidity right now. It's not the East Coast humidity. Horrible. Pressure is 29.94 inches and stable. Visibility is at 7 miles. Wind is heading to the east at 2 miles per hour. Dew point is 55 degrees. UV index, of course, 0 of 11. And the moon phase is a waxing gibbous. So taking a quick look at historical sporting events. Oop, wrong tab. What a shock. I'm not ready to go. Back in 1924, the 56th Belmont Earl Sandy aboard Mad Play wins in 2 minutes, 18.8 seconds. In 1952, at the 84th Belmont, Eddie Arcaro aboard a 1-count wins in 2 minutes, 30.2 seconds. Back in 1974, the Major League Baseball San Diego Padres draft Brown University shortstop Bill Ullman as the number 1. Who? Yep, that's who. In 1980, Tommy John wins his 200th 3-0 on a 2-hitter. And that was, of course, after he had his world-famous, world-renowned, world everything Tommy John surgery. Back in 1982, LA Dodgers Steve Garvey is 5th to play in 1,000 consecutive games. Also on this date, in 1982, the New York Mets draft Dwight Gooden, Roger McDowell, and Randy Myers. All three made it to the major leagues. Wow, impressive. And finally, in sports history on this day in 1983, Major League Baseball Philadelphia Phillies Steve Carlton temporarily passes Houston Astro Nolan Ryan with his 3,552nd strikeout. Impressive. So as we go around the horn, I want to give a shout out. Thank you, Aisha Kerr. Thank you for joining and giving us the like early this morning. In National Rugby League, what do we have? The Telstra Premiership, round 14. This game's on the 5th. Knights 26, Eagles 22, Storm 38, Cowboys 14. That was actually on the 6th. D-Day. Dolphins 56, Dragons 6. Earlier today, the Warriors blasted the show. I have no idea. Aisha, how long have you been part of this network? Broncos 44, Titans 14. And later today at 9 p.m., Raiders versus Rabbitohs, Sharks versus Warriors. And see who else. The West's Tigers visit the Panthers. I'm really butchering English this morning. And tomorrow at 11 p.m., Bulldogs visit the Eels. In the Association of Volleyball, Let's take a quick look. I believe last weekend's event was League Week 2 in San Diego. So let's see what's going on. Dallas Dream 2-2, Palm Beach Passion 2-2, the Brooklyn Blaze 2-2, San Diego Smash 2-2, and the Austin Aces, New York Nitro, LA Launch, and the Miami Mayhem are 0-0. So it's good stuff going on right now. And good morning to the big dog. And thank you for the like on that. LPGA, 75 years. There's a lot of stuff going on. Head on over to lpga.com to see what it is. But right now, the ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer is going on June 6th through the 8th, which is right now. Aihee Lee is -11. Elizabeth Zokol is -8. Leanne Pace, -7. Mao Saigo is -6, tied with Ayaki Furu at -6, and Wei Ling Hu. Actually, that may have been a Hu. But you have to be very careful with the letters and the pronunciation, which I always butcher anyway. I do my best. I listen. In the men's, the RBC Canadian Open, Keldon, Ontario, Canada, June 5th through the 8th. Cameron Champ is -12 and 128, followed by Andrew Putnam at -10 and 130. And tying for third, Thorin Olsen, Richard Lee, and Nick Taylor at -9 and 131. As I mentioned, the ShopRite Classic is also going on. And we also have the BMW Charity Pro-Am presented by TD Synex in Greer, South Carolina, also June 5th through the 8th. Ask you to forgive me a moment. Hot chocolate. It's really good. I'm almost done with coffee. I think the only reason why I get coffee now is because, well, I don't know. I just get it. But good morning, Gridiron Girl. Thank you for the like. Appreciate it. The BMW Charity Pro-Am is Austin Smotherman at -16 and 127. And coming in tied for second, Sebastian Kaplan, Nicolo Galetti, and Pearson Cootie at -14 and 129. We also have the American Family Insurance Championship in Madison, Wisconsin, June 6th through the 8th. Team Sejka Kelson will get going at 9:15. Saren, and then Team Tanagawa McCarran will go at 9:15. So check out PGA.com. A lot of stuff going on. Now, next race for NTT IndyCar Series, June 5th in St. Louis. We're 8 days away. And then, of course, we have Road America on the 22nd, July 6th, Mid-Ohio, July 12th, Iowa, and July 20th, Toronto. That's for NTT IndyCar. Then we have NHRA Mission. I know that, Aisha. Thank you for the reminder. Aisha, get in here. Come on. Do what you do best. Get in here. Don't be throwing comments on the sideline. Get in here. NHRA, Speed Never Lies, June 6th through the 8th. It's going on right now. Thunder Valley Nationals. And it's in Bristol, Tennessee. And then they're going to go on to Richmond, Virginia, June 20th through the 22nd. Norwalk, Ohio, June 26th through the 29th. And Seattle, Washington, July 18th through the 20th. So check it out, NHRA. Formula One, I don't know why I have to accept all. But where are we in Formula One? And we're not going to do the team stuff. No way. No, I don't have the time nor the inclination. Whew. Formula One Pirelli Grand Prix du Canada 2025, June 13th to the 15th. That's next week. Formula One MSC Cruises Austrian Grand Prix, June 27th to the 29th. And Formula One Qatar Airways British Grand Prix 2025. Yes, I'm sure you do. I'm glad someone does. So, NASCAR. They're in Michigan. I'll do the standings for them a little bit later. In Major League Baseball, last night, Yankees 9-6 over Boston, Warren over Buehler. Williams picked up his 7th. And this game was suspended, so it's going to be completed on June 7th, which is later on today. Diamondbacks 3-3. And I don't know if it was suspended. Oh, they did. They were in the bottom of the 6th. So the game was official, but suspended. Remember, if you're winning at home and you complete the 6th inning, that makes the game official. You got to go 5 innings. That's an official game. If the home team is winning, you just got to go 6. Actually, just top of the 6th. If the home team is losing, home team has to bat in the 6th for it to be official. And it is official, but it was suspended, so the game is going to be completed. Rays 4-3 over the Marlins. Littell over Cabrera. Fairbanks picked up his 12th. The Pirates beat the Phillies 5-4. Bednar over Romano. The Nationals 2-0 over the Rangers. Soroka over Corbin. Finnegan picked up his 18th. Tigers 3, Cubs 1. Skubal beat Brown. Vest picked up his 10th save. The A-Holes doubled up on the Guardians 42. Gordon over Allen. Hader picked up his 17th. The Black Sox 7-2 over America's AAA team. Leisure over Bolin. Blue Jays 6-4 over the Gemelitos. Lauer over Ober. Hoffman picked up his 14th. The Padres. 2-0 over the Brewers. Peralta versus Patrick. Suarez picked up his 20th. The Cardinals shut out the Dodgers 5-0. Gray over Robleski. The Mets 4-2 over the Rockies. Stanek versus Agnos. Diaz picked up his 14th. Yours truly was at the Angels-Mariners game yesterday. 5-4. Angels won. All the scoring was in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. Really cool. Hendricks picked up the win. Miller the loss. Jansen picked up his 13th. The Athletics edged the Orioles 5-4. Sears over Cremar. And Miller also picked up his 13th. Miller lost at the Angels game. Same spelling. And the hated ones 5-4 over the Braves. In Major League Baseball standings, starting off with the American League East, the New York Yankees are 39-23. The Blue Jays and the Rays are tied for second and 5.5 back. The Red Sox are 10.5, and the Orioles are 14. In the American League Central, you have the Detroit Tigers, the resilient Detroit Tigers at 42-23, who I believe are the best team in Major League Baseball by far. Well, not by far, but they're the best team at 42-23, a 646 winning percentage. The Gemelitos are 7 back. The Guardians are 7.5. America's AAA team is 8.5. And apparently the Black Sox are 12.5 back. In the American League West, the A-Holes are 35-28. Mariners are 2.5. The Angels have improved. They're 4-6 in the last 10 games. At 5.5 back, the Rangers are 6.5, and the Athletics are 11. And halfway through the standings, there we are. Good morning. He is dressed in soccer football colors this morning. I'm sure he shall. Oh my God, Big Dog! Don't eat one of those live on TV. But what do you have, Big Dog? Show it off, man.
I'm a Savannah banana.
Oh my gosh, Bigora there, lad. What did you do?
Well, remember, I went to the game last Saturday. So it was fun. They're very, very entertaining. They do possess the the baseball skills. They just add a lot of pizzazz, a panache to their game. I think the craziest one was a guy on stilts. He's on stilts the entire game. He was a designated batter. But the funny thing is they have a lot of rules. And one of the main ones, of course, is no bunting. And they said because bunting sucks.
So we have the Harlem Globetrotters of Major League of Baseball.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was really fun. We saw three different home runs, so they do have power. Um, just a fun time. They do a lot of stuff. They interact with the crowd a lot. They play. They honored the police departments. They honored the firemen, and they did a couple other things. Someone they picked a kid, I guess that was from the children's hospital. That was in dire health and had a miracle turnaround. They had them and their family there, and they brought them out, and the entire place cheered. So, all in all, a really good time.
So, Big Dog, would you go see them again?
Oh, most definitely. I'm gonna try and make this a yearly tradition. It is a fun time.
Impressive, folks. Check them out, the Savannah Bananas. They started out, I don't know, at least before COVID. Don't know when they began, but they started out
Eight, eight,
locally and
eight
they
years,
picked it up.
8 years ago, but they became the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball probably about 4 years ago.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's really good stuff.
And
So
I'm sorry. They did announce something that in their all the years that they've been touring, which I think it's been 3 years now, Anaheim Stadium now holds the record for most attendance in the two-game series. Double sellouts of over 45,000 in each game. And of course, me being the big dog that I am, said, well, that's the first time that the Anaheim Stadium has had 45,000 people 2 times in a row in probably about 10 years, at least. Unfortunately.
even with the giveaways.
Yeah.
Wow. That is quite a bit.
And
Congratulations.
they were hawking their merchandise in at least 3 different spots, and the lines were okay. Originally, the way it worked, of course, you had to be a Bananas fan, and then when they announce the schedule, you get put into a lottery, and then from the lottery, they pick whether or not you're going to be able to buy tickets, and then they give you you're given a like, not a number, but a section, I guess. In other words, if your group, I'm sorry, you're given a group. So you're Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, and auxiliary. So, and Monday is Group A, Tuesday is Group B, so on and so forth. Well, of course, the luck of the big dog, I was auxiliary. So I had to take whatever was left. Because it's just luck of the draw. So I got the best seats that were available, and the tickets were $40 each. I got the tickets were $40, and but you don't know where you're going to sit. They just tell you this is the price range, and then later on, about 3 months later, you find out where you could possibly be sitting, and then the week before the game, they actually give you your actual seats. So unfortunately, I was in section 535. Yes, and I was I think it was row N, which is third to the top. So
hey, we live there regularly, so I can't say anything.
Yeah. But unfortunately, my health is not anywhere close to what it used to be, and it was hotter than hell that day last week. And I didn't do so well. I made it up there, and as I said, it was literally the third row from the back of the stadium. So got to give it to my daughter Janelle. She went to go get me some water, but while she was down there, she actually talked to the people and told them my health situation, and they gave us 4 seats. They brought us lower, and we were actually in the Coors Field something or other. So we were in dead center field right next to the rock formation. But they let us have those seats there. So they sat us there, and we were actually, I guess, where we were sitting before, you could see the field better. But where we were afterwards were, of course, much better seats. And I guess it's a special section because it had preset tables, and on the tables, wherever you put your drink, it's a pre-frozen cup holder, so it'll stay cold the whole time, and it also has cell phone chargers built into the table with the seats and so on and so forth. So we got tons of stuff. It was just a fun time. Better seats would be the only thing I would hope for next time, but it is what it is. It was a great time. Both teams, as I said, they are extremely athletic. A couple of those catches, I don't know how they work them out, but there was a high fly ball to right field, and as he was going back to catch it, it was a lazy fly ball. But as he went back to catch it, just before he was going to catch it, he did a backflip, and he caught it on the backflip. So when he landed, he caught the ball. It was already in his glove as he was backflipping. And there was a couple of different guys that did that. It was just some pretty incredible stuff that they did.
Hopefully we'll get some video from there.
I will try and remember to post some of those today. Yes. You as a baseball enthusiast probably would have been pulling your hair out for some of the stunts that they were doing. You know, because they don't adhere to the classic rules of baseball.
They are entertainers. They're no different from Major League Baseball. They have their own set of rules.
Yes.
I understand what they are, and I'm happy for them. It's just,
yeah.
I might, maybe one day go, but look, I know who the Harlem Globetrotters are.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to go see them either.
I used to watch them as a kid all the time on what was the sports show on ABC, Wide World of Sports.
Yes.
When they would do their yearly thing on Wide World of Sports, I used to watch it. But as I got older and really got into basketball, I was like, this isn't as fun anymore. It's fun to watch, you know, but you know.
It's not even for me to even comment, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing a good thing. They're entertaining people. How bad can that be? I mean, come on, man.
Exactly. And the fact that they can.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and the fact they can pull in 45,000 people. You know, they're doing something right.
I am not gonna harsh their mellow, so good for them. Like I said, maybe one day I would go myself. I mean, it wouldn't be something that I would do, but it was something that I might get around to it. But look, pulling 45,000 2 days in a row, something's being done. It's being done correct. So hey, it's all good. So I'm going to go ahead and return, folks. We're just going to finish up the standings in the National League East. We have the Mets at 40-24 in first place, followed by the Phillies at 2.5. The Nationals 9.5, and Ash just showed up. Stay away from my cereal, dude. The Braves are 12, and Miami is 15.5. In the National League Central, we have the Cubs at 39-24. The Cardinals are 4. The Cheaters are 5.5 back. The Commies are 9 back, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are 15.5. In the National League West, you have the Dodgers at 38-26. The Padres are 1 game back. The hated ones are 2. Diamondbacks 6, and the Colorado Rockies at 25.5. About to be eliminated. I don't know who's going to be eliminated first, the Chicago Black Sox or the Rockies, because the Detroit Tigers are doing so well. They are the best team in Major League Baseball by far, as I mentioned earlier. And
are you surprised by that?
The Tigers? Of course I am. Of course I am. I saw that they had some good pitching, and I always pay attention to that. I had no idea that they were going to gel so fast. I think this is a good team. They have some issues, but you're winning. It's a good thing. Way to go, Tigers. Tigers are like the Pirates. When they do well, baseball does well. And seeing the Tigers, awesome. Now, as I mentioned, the Tigers are the best team at 42-23 with a 646 winning percentage. And then you have the second best team in Major League Baseball is the New York Yankees at 39-23 with a 629 winning percentage. And then, of course, you have the New York Mets at 40-24 with a 625 winning percentage. Those are the top three teams in baseball. When you look at run differential, it is really surprising that you have the Chicago Cubs, who are in first place at plus 104 on the run differential. And then, of course,
with the fourth best record in the league, not a special nod to General America.
Aye, lad, and I'm glad that you remembered him. The Yankees are at 102 and run differential, and then you have the Tigers at -3. I'm sorry, at 93. So, and then when you look at it the other way around, man, the Colorado Rockies are -183.
Damn.
Then you have the Athletics -116, and I guess it would be -88. That would be the Baltimore Orioles. Wow.
Since you're master of the keyboard with those nimble fingers of yours,
I have carpal tunnel, baby.
Can you ask the computer or can you Google it, the worst run plus minus ever? Because the Rockies I'm pretty sure they're on track to maybe break that or shatter that, actually. Because I mean, we're not even halfway through, and with them already almost -200, that's pretty bad.
Oh, they've gone back. So once again, 2 weeks in a row, the Cleveland Spiders, the worst run differential in Major League Baseball history, was held by the Cleveland Spiders, who finished 18-99 at -723 runs.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Jesus! Now I'm talking to myself now.
You're not the only schizo in my life.
-7. Would you say 793?
Close. 723. Does it matter?
Wow.
And that was 793 and 623 or 723, whatever.
And what was your record?
Oh, they were the worst team ever. I know we had that last week.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it was 100. I believe it was 160 games they played. So 723 divided by 160. So they were -4.5 runs every single game on average.
They allowed 1,252, and they gave up 500, or they scored 529. And Speaking of a run differential, I want to bring her aboard at Good Morning Anime Girl. What's up?
Give her the Benny Hill.
Well, from you, big dog, exactly what I was expecting. But there you go. How are you feeling, big dog?
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm all right. You?
I'm doing fine. My bursitis is acting up today, so we'll see.
Your bursitis. Forgive me for being rude. What's bursitis?
It's an inflammation in the joint. And unfortunately, it's in my shoulder. It was really, really bad when I went to the doctor that day. Luckily, I had the appointment, so I had only been suffering for about a day and a half. But I couldn't lift my arm. I couldn't carry anything in it. So I just added it to another, into the wonderful 25 year that I've had so far.
So it's a posh version of arthritis.
Yes.
Posh version. I do want to tell everyone that I am using my bowl from Alaska.
What the hell kind of bowl is that? What, you put like half the box of cereal in that?
Yeah, I did. Actually, that's what I've been doing all morning.
Yes.
Big
yes,
dog. It's a dog bowl.
Oh, is it for me?
No, well, yeah, it could be for you, but it's a dog bowl. You shove everything in there. Just mix it all in together. Dog bowl.
I always try and shove everything in there when I have a chance. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. What exactly does your coffee mug say, scorekeeper?
Probably something rude,
Let me
crude, and
read
unkind.
it. I'm trying to be less of an a-hole than I was yesterday. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Go fuck
Go
yourself.
F yourself.
Well, yeah, see, I told you. Rude, crude, and completely unnecessary.
Morning. Oh,
Morning.
I'm sorry. I thought we were taking roll.
Yeah. And how is scorekeeper?
Physically, I am tired, but I'm okay. I did quite a bit yesterday. Yesterday was one of the better days I've ever had. But I'm in a rush because it looks like everything is now official. June 13th is my official retirement date. It's like done, set in stone. And I've been moving heaven and earth over the last few days to get a lot of stuff done.
So do you go in one last time and do like a walkthrough or a drive through and
I did pre-schedule lunch with my coworkers on June 12th, which is like, wow, that is actually my last day, June 12th. June 12th is my last day, but my first official date of being retired will be June 13th. And I find it absolutely amusing that my marriage anniversary is June 12th. So one thing ended there. On June 13th, my professional life ended there.
Like, well, wow. when you go to lunch
on June 14th is her day.
Yeah. Scorekeeper, when you go to lunch, no drinking and no streaking down the main street because the cops will get very upset with you.
Well, Aisha, once again, I want to thank you for the belief that I would go streaking. I do protect my fellow man.
No dangling no dangling participles. Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's different. What? That's pretty good, dude. I like that one. You haven't used that one in a while. I'm sorry?
Said trust Big Dog to go down that route.
Yep.
Well, I do want to tell you that I did go to yesterday's game, and of course,
I saw that you were on the Titantron.
Yes, I was on there twice. As a matter of fact, it was really cool. We also were in the section that won, which I've never been in all the time I've been at Anaheim Stadium. And the few weeks before, we went to 305. And I said, okay, I'm going to get further away from the action because I didn't like the arm bar or whatever that was in the front row blocking us. So I wanted to be on the other side, and I chose 304. And sure enough, when we were shown on the big screen, we were all given Jersey Mike's free subs. And that was kind of cool. Section 304-1, we all received. And I want to give a shout out to my nephew and to Stephanie, who was there as well. And it was absolutely fun being able to catch up with them. And I think I'm going to be doing it on a monthly basis at least, trying to meet up with my nephews as time permits. And
did they win?
The Angels, yes, 5-4. All of the scoring was done in the third, the fourth, and the fifth innings. It was cool, man. It was
Mike Trout hit another home run?
I'm sorry?
Did Mike Trout hit another home run? He's been
no, but
hot.
I was really happy to see him. He did hit one deep to, I think it was, he was like at Yankee Stadium, Dodger Stadium, it was gone. But he hit it to the biggest part of the park. Well, not the biggest, but he hit it to right field, and he was warning track. But, folks, the right field corner in Anaheim is 350. Dodger Stadium's 330. That thing was gone at Dodger Stadium. And that was a Ruthian blast at Yankee Stadium, which is 310 down the line.
Which was the one that just, I think it was the Mets. That they're calling it like the shortest home run ever. It hit the foul pole, I think, when they beat the Dodgers the other day. And I believe they said it was like 306 feet.
Oh.
They said it barely cleared because it was like a rocket. So the fielder couldn't get to it in time.
Because there are teams that had like 270 down the lines. And when you played in the Coliseum, dude, I think it was like 250 down the left field line and 8,000 feet to right field. So you can see the dimensions were a little skewed.
Yes,
it's like Boston. Boston, I think, is 315 to left, but then you have the massive green monster. But in right field, dude, I think it's like 400 down the line.
I believe, holy moly. Trout hit it. I think he hit it over the green monster, and he might have actually cleared the stands.
Oh,
I know he hit one.
Yeah.
And then I know he hit because I know he just barely came back from being on the IL once again.
I was really happy to see. I didn't know he was playing last night. I was like, Mikey!
Yeah, he's got 10 home runs already.
Mm-hmm.
From the little short time that he's been back. So he's on a home run streak, and I know one of them they were talking about. I can't remember where he hit it, but they said it was 454. So I believe it was right field, but he knocked the holy crap out of that ball. I saw the highlight of it.
454 is out of my backyard, so that makes it eligible to be out of every Major League Baseball park. So, not that I have a large backyard. I don't. I had a much larger backyard.
On Ferguson, right? Yes.
Dude,
that went on forever.
By 50.
That was like 2 acres of yardage back there. That was about.
I grew up in my backyard playing Star Wars Dagobah because it had the lousy drainage system. It was great. Oh, Ash is here with me this morning. I think he's mad at me because I fed Canela early this morning. But anyway, so life is good in the hood. It's 6:38 a.m. and we have Aisha here. We have the big dog. Oh, and let me get to the upcoming events. I do not have any community notices. Folks, if you want us to announce an event, actually, I do have one. If you'd like us to announce any personal events, just contact us here at NDB Media, and we will gladly mention them in our community notice. We do have today's birthdays coming up. I ask you to bear with me. Today is June 7th. Actually, I don't think. Oh, author Dayton Ward, who has been on with us. Happy birthday, Dayton. Glad to have you aboard. And tomorrow, Elva Alvarez on June 8th. And then, ladies and gentlemen, stop the presses. On June 9th, the man himself, the big dog, celebrates his birthday. Woo! So that will be on June 9th. On June 12th, Randy Landers celebrates as well. So those are the upcoming birthdays. Now, for the community chest, this is for my seminary community of Los Angeles, California, I should say. The annual OLQA reunion will not be at OLQA. It will be in El Monte. It will be on July 12th at 11 a.m. Yours truly will be there, and we'll see. But that's coming up. The annual OLQA reunion will be in El Monte. Head on over to the group for alumni, and you may contact me as well for.
Are you going?
I'm sorry?
Are you going?
Somehow it's fallen to me to be a major coordinator on this.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Actually,
so when are the strippers showing up?
Don't have that contract nailed down yet. So not certain. going to go from about 11 to 5. I thought it was going to go from 12 to 8, but I have no say on the scheduling because I forget many of the alumni are 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they don't stay out very late. I'm like, oh. So we'll see.
So it'll end at 5, so they can still get home before the sun goes down.
I think so. Yes. Well, I don't know what time it's going to end. We have it booked. It is at the club that's right there in El Monte, the one where the Knights of Columbus meet. So it's kind of cool. Looking forward to that one. And yeah, looking forward to it. I've already, since I'm going to end up doing a lot of the stuff, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong. Everyone is involved, but I am taking on a responsibility. I'm looking forward to it. I've already hired 2 people to assist me. I said, yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of running around that day, and scorekeeper can't do it anymore. I found my two-way radios, dude. I did. I found my two-way radios. So I'm like, awesome. I ordered the clips, and I ordered the Secret Service earpieces. So I'm looking forward to that.
So Roger's going to have his minions. All right.
Yes, one of them will be Gmo, unfortunately, and the other one will be my office assistant, of course.
Claudia.
So I told him, I said, I need you from this time to this time. It will be a paid event. And Gmo was like, what? So it's working out. I am going to be doing that because it's going to be a lot of stuff. If the alumni reunions are what they normally are, there's going to be a lot of people there. So looking forward to it. So anyway, that's on our community calendar. We took a look at birthdays. If you have any anniversaries or any announcements that you want to make, just go and let us know. We'll gladly play it on air here on Sports Talk with the Guys and on NDB Media. I will be leaving earlier today. I will be leaving at about 9 o'clock this morning because I have an event that I have to get to. And it's down in Cerritos, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to head down there before it gets hot. And,
a little short jaunt.
Yeah, a little bit. And only because I have a lot of stuff I have to get done. I am a little unnerved. I never it was some nebulous thing way out there. My retirement date. I had joked that it was going to be 25 years from my date of hire, which was about November 14th. November 14th, 2016. So it was always a joke that I had, but now it could have been last year, could have been next year, but now it's pretty much done. I have the date. It's less than a week away. Wow.
So after you're officially retired, do we get that Monday Night in America? That tell-all Monday Night in America? Since you no longer have any obligations?
Oh my God! I have been prepping, baby. I have been prepping. I'm gonna have to activate the website. What is Big Dog talking about? Oh, Stu.
You have talked that
get ready.
Yep, you have talked about how that there's some things you couldn't say, but after you retired, you would have a show.
This is going to be ongoing. You will have the names. I'm printing emails. Oh God, for the love of God. I mean, I can say it now. Dean, you're an effing coward. And yes, you are too stupid to know that I called you a clown in an email that everyone else knew that I called you a clown. Oh my God, it was great. Oh, got away with it. That was funny. Scorekeeper does have a way with words, doesn't he, Big Dog?
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. God, it was hilarious.
Anime Girl, how are you enjoying your retirement?
Actually, it's about to happen later this year, right, Aisha?
Yeah.
You see, but hers is not as angry as mine.
Yeah, I don't get my retirement until December.
Ah, okay.
So,
So you're just a working gal until December. Okay.
basically, yeah. I'm living the dream, as they say, counting the days down. Or as they say in the army, I've already made up my chuff chart. Woke up every day, there's the day, scrape it off. Think of John Wayne and she wore a yellow ribbon, the little way he used to cross it off.
Yep.
Yep, that's me. I'm crossing it off. I just don't have a drunk Irish sergeant to worry about. That's a good thing.
Now you have us.
No, I got something else, but that's another story.
Fair enough. We do want to issue another, as we did talk about last week. I do want to. I haven't received an update in about 3 or 4 days, but our thoughts are with a team member here in NDB Media. We are looking. Her birthday passed, which I missed. Is that true?
Yesterday, I think.
It was
Yeah,
yesterday. Elizabeth, we know you're not doing well, and I'm not expecting this to be a wake-up call, but hopefully she will be out of the care that she is. And I don't want to do anything else that's public. I know I internally posted something, and when I posted it, I was like, oh, shit, you effed it up again. And, let it go. Just let it go. I was like, I meant the post that I did in NDB Media was, please don't reference this post publicly. It didn't come out that way. It was, shut up, don't say a word, and leave it bright. That wasn't my intent. So my thing was, some people don't like to have their public stuff or their private stuff thrown out there. So
yeah, well, it was too late for me because I'd already put something up on her website before you.
But like I said, your post had nothing to do with mine, and then I butchered it again. I messed it up. So that's why someone said, "Hey, maybe you should remove it." I was like, "No, just no. I'm not even gonna bother to clean up the spilt milk. I'm gonna walk away, come back an hour later, and maybe have someone else clean it up because I'm not."
I know I put a birthday post up on a page yesterday as well.
If I post a birthday notice on someone's Facebook page, that means
it's the end of the world.
Really don't give a rat's ass about that person. Everyone knows that I'm big on birthdays, and I will send a private message. I've always done that. I know we live in a social world and everyone posts or whatever. I never post a public birthday on their page. I send them the message instead. I've just always have done it that way. So I'm not like a particular host that we know on the East Coast that has to every few months. All right, I'm cleaning up my Facebook pages, so give me your homage. Otherwise, I'm going to kick you off my page. I don't do that. I'm sorry.
I don't have enough people to do that to. If I said, right, I'm cleaning up my page, I'd probably end up sitting here on my bloody sweet Todd talking to nobody.
I will remove someone the moment that I detect what I detect as hate. And when everyone gets angry, but hate is something I don't have time for in my life. If I detect someone that has hate on their page and we're on, I'm out. And the thing is, I don't, unfollow. No, I block the person. Hate is hate, and that stands out from anger.
It depends on who you hate.
I'm sorry, what?
I hate the Celtics.
I know that you use the word hate, and I
respect some of the players, Bird being one of them. But I truly hate the Celtics. Now, I'm always in a conundrum when the Celtics play the Clippers, because I detest the Clippers almost as much as the Celtics. So I don't. That's one of the times I wish there would be a tie.
See, Big Dog, I acknowledge your hatred against the Celtics, but the Clippers, that's like the single child that lives next door. And everyone just wants to beat the shit out because they're stupid, because they suffer from single child syndrome. They were in San Diego, single child syndrome.
Mm-hmm. And they moved to LA and they had the chance to actually be their own entity, so to speak.
Oh,
when they were offered the Pond, which is now the Honda Center, to be their home permanently, and they wouldn't do it, which I still to this day think is a big mistake. I mean, now they have the Intuit Dome, but of course they have all those stupid rules to be in the Intuit Dome if you're a supposed Clipper fan, especially if you're sitting in the wall, where you're not allowed to wear anything but Clipper shirts or merchandise. If you have anybody else's merchandise, you're automatically kicked out of that section. Also, if you don't cheer enough, you're also kicked out of the section, because they have each seat, I guess, is electronically hooked up to see how much you cheer for your team. Or not, excuse me, you have to cheer for the Clippers.
Anime.
And if you don't cheer enough. Yeah, if
Are
you don't
we having
cheer,
a flashback to 1984?
pretty much.
I'm not saying a word.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Such a.
I mean, he did some great things in that, where every seat has its own phone charger, and so a couple other things, but I think it pales in comparison to all the crazy crap that he's, instituted to be in that section of the Intuit Dome.
So wrudely, Big Dog, once again, the Clippers are single child syndrome. That's what they are. That's why for you to be mad at them. No, it's the one when you see the kid walking across the sidewalk and you're watering your lawn. Like, come on, take a step on my lawn. Take one step, you little SOB, and I'll give you another bath. Come on, just do that. Ride your bike on my lawn when you take the corner. I will. That's single child syndrome. That's what the Clippers are.
And I did want to say that this team that I'm holding up right here, and of course, this team and 28 others, of course, all exhaled a sigh of relief, except for one team, because I said 28 plus.
Well, that would have been
that would have been 29, and the one team, of course, that could not give a sigh of relief, of course, are the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Say it ain't so, Big Dog. It's not like they signed Joe Madden. What happened,
No.
Big Dog?
I think it would have been better if they had signed Joe Madden.
I think so too, and I think they should have signed John Madden, even though he's dead. They're probably going to get better results with John Madden. But anyways, for those who have been living under a rock or just turned off their football news for the time being, four-time MVP, which is pretty incredible, and just saying that, has signed a one-year contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am, of course, talking about Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Tinfoil man himself. He agreed to a one-year term with the Steelers. Team announced this on Thursday, ending months of uncertainty around his future and uniting the future Hall of Famer with a club that desperately needs a quarterback. I'm not too sure about desperately needs a quarterback. I mean, they did make it into the first round of the playoffs, but they once again lost. The Steelers said the contract is pending a physical. I don't think he'll ever have a problem passing the physical.
Now, if it is a physical.
If it is a mental test, now we might have a problem. They'll have a problem there. But physical test, I believe he'll pass. It says the news comes more than 80 days since the start of free agency and 70 days after Rodgers, who is 41, visited the Steelers. Sources told Adam Schefter that Rodgers plans to fly to Pittsburgh on Friday, which was yesterday, and join the Steelers ahead of next week's mandatory minicamp. The Steelers never wavered in their belief that Rodgers eventually would sign with them. It says the deal with Pittsburgh sets up a Week 1 showdown between Rodgers and the former team, the New York Jets, who will host the Steelers in the season opener. Says that he's been linked with the Steelers throughout the offseason, especially after Pittsburgh opted to let both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields leave for free agents. Rodgers visited the team practice facility on March 21st and remained in communication with the club while weighing decisions about his future for more than 2 months, which probably means he went into that dark cave that he likes to go to contemplate life. So it's going to be interesting what Mike Tomlin does with that man, because Mike Tomlin, doesn't usually take a lot of crap from players. He's usually wields with the iron fist. So we'll see how that goes when Rodgers doesn't get what he wants, because we all seen that happen before.
It's not going to be interesting. I'm sorry.
I got to be honest. I was reading some of the Facebook comments about this, and the one that I do like, I won't mention the person that made it, was, from the looks of him in this picture, he's going to need a motorized wheelchair to get around the field. So it's somebody, somebody turned around and went 28 touchdowns and almost 4,000 yards with only 11 interceptions on a trash Jets team. So there you go. Apparently, he faces the Jets in Week 1 and Green Bay in Week 8.
Yes, he will face both his former teams. I don't believe this is going to be helping the Steelers much. They'll probably end up 9-8, maybe 10-7.
I personally don't think he'll make it through the season. I think he'll play about 2 or 3 games and turn up injured.
No, I think he'll make it through the season. I just don't think, as we've noticed this last 4 years, and of course 1 year he missed pretty much the entire season except for 3 plays, and he blew that Achilles out. But for the most part, we've come to now know that he's not the leader that we all thought he was. I think it was just a happenstance that he had the right people to play with, and he came off as a leader. Or maybe he was a leader, and once he left, or that final year with Green Bay and then subsequently the Jets, that he lost that passion. And of course I think I know why.
I think I know why the Steelers signed him. They wanted some extra revenue from Baker Foyle. That's what it was.
Scorekeeper, what do you feel? Do you feel he used to be a good leader and now isn't? Not, or he wasn't a leader whatsoever, or he still is a good leader?
I think we're wasting too much time on this guy. To answer your question, I'll never know. I'll never know, because number one, I do not have the intellectual curiosity to find out on this subject. Dude, you're asking me, why does the tinfoil fold? Who gives a I'm not trying to be dismissive of you. I'm trying to come up with something smart alecky to say. I would rather discuss the Savannah Bananas than I would Aaron Rodgers.
Anybody think you didn't like the man?
I have no time for it.
Are you getting lots of messages?
The theme is so stupid. It is so stupid in real world topics. America. Okay, here I go. America is hiding behind this thing of, well, that's what I believe. Oh, you're still a jackass. You're still ignorant because you choose to believe in something just because that's what you believe. And even when you are proven wrong, and you, well, that's what I believe. This is what America has become. And Aaron Rodgers is the epitome of that jackassity that pervades America. He believes in things that the world and folks, the intelligent quotient of the United States is one of the lowest in the entire industrial world. Isn't that crazy? We are almost Stone Age when it comes to our thinking. I've got to tell you, yes, Americans are stupid. I've said it forever. Americans are stupid, and it irritates me. And hey, look, I am far from excluding myself. I have proven myself time and time again that I'm stupid.
And we're being led by the most stupidest one of all.
So, look, guys.
You're not talking about the demented pigeon, are you, big dog?
No, I'm talking about the orange orangutan. He's an orange orangutan for me.
Oh. The ginger whinger. Okay.
Yes. Like I say, I have no time for Aaron Rodgers because and now even listening to him talk football now, I'm bored by him. It's like, at one time, dude, it was worthwhile listening. But what did he do with the Jets this year? Statistically, for a 40 or 41-year-old, he did very well. He did.
He had a hell of a season for being his age, yes.
But here it is again. Individually, he did very well. That's like when Scorekeeper went in 8th grade, his final part season, he went 22-24. Incredible. But our team was like 1-6. I mean, it's like, wow. Come on, boys and girls. I was hitting the lights out of that ball, but doesn't matter. It's California's fault. I don't know why, but good morning, Lito. Thank you. I like that. Look, folks, it is what it is. Aaron Rodgers, I'm genuinely disappointed that the Pittsburgh Steelers, the hell of a team that they are, signed Aaron Rodgers. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't like to have drama. They don't.
No, they don't. No, they do not.
And they brought Mrs. Karen Rodgers to the team. Wow. But
I will say I'm relieved because I was so scared that the Raiders were going to sign this guy.
Apparently there was no attempt.
That is true, but I still. How many times have we heard that, and all of a sudden they end up on the Raiders anyways? So yes. I was just so scared of that.
I will tell you, Big Dog, I was quiet myself.
Yeah.
Because you people didn't whack that imbecile Ronnie Reagan, and it's all got a shit since then. Wow. Dude, that's you went 80s on us on that. Actually, no, you went 70s on us on that one. Very good. Oh, my goodness. There was a scene in Scrubs where a doctor, JD, was talking to one of his patients, and he got him to agree to a procedure. And then when another doctor came in, he says, "You know what? I'll go for the surgery after all." He says, "Dude, what's the deal?" Dude, it's a one-time expense. I'm probably going to be able to get away with this. The pain will go away. It's a risk, but I'll take it. Dude, you're a Benedict Arnold. And he ran out, and the other guy's like, "Ooh, you went colonial on his ass." I remember that. So by him saying the thing about Ronnie Reagan, whoa, what? Nah! Scrubs is getting a reboot with the original cast? Oh, wow. But the janitor will not be there. He passed away.
Why not?
He passed away.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I'm so sorry. Ted passed away. The bald attorney. Ted did.
Is the old doctor still there? Is he still alive?
I think he is the
Wow.
the head of surgery, the head of the
Yeah.
hospital. Yes. Oh my
God,
Kelso. Kelso.
he's got to be in his 80s, close to being 90
God,
if he's
yeah.
still around.
Dude, they're all. I mean, I'm interested if they're going to bring them all back. Wow, that was a fun show. But okay, folks, I apologize. Look, I'm no fan of Aaron Rodgers. There's no doubt about it. Look, he's 41. Great for the 41-year-olds. I'm glad he's still playing. But again, going back to the season he had with the Jets, how did the team do? Didn't do very well. I don't see him as a leader. I see him as a Danica Patrick player on a team sport.
I didn't know John Ritter was on Scrubs.
Who?
John Ritter.
Yes, he was JD's dad.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Ryan Reynolds was on there too?
God, yes. Dude, Scrubs had incredible special guests.
I'm looking at it right now.
Dude.
Holy moly.
It was incredible, all the special guests that they would get. Yeah, dude. Scrubs was really, it was a lot of fun. So, speaking of Scrubs, folks, we're going to finally be able to scrub this topic off of our collective intellectual scholarly minds. But before we get to that story, this just happened last night, but it is the top of the hour at 7:07 a.m. It is Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. It is June 7th, 2025, 7:07 a.m. Thank you for joining us. And like I say, Big Dog and Anime Girl may continue beyond the 9 a.m. hour here, but I will be going just up until 9 o'clock this morning because I have a prior commitment.
No, I'll be letting slip the dogs of war at about the same time.
Same here. Kathy worked overtime and didn't get off till 2:30 this morning, so I'm a little tired.
Understood. Well, putting in the private chat and on the main page right now, want to share with all of you that the judge has okayed the $2.8 billion settlement, paving the way for college athletes to get paid.
Excuse me, scorekeeper.
Excuse me.
Your fellow host is trying to attract your attention. Big Dog, you're on.
Oh, okay. Well, scorekeeper didn't say anything, so I was just wondering. So in answer to what Lethal Migraine said, yes, Scrubs reboot is in the works at ABC. According to various news outlets and news articles, Zach Braff has signed on to reprise his role as JD. Bill Lawrence, the original creator, is developing the reboot. The reboot is described as a hybrid, likely revival that will also include new characters. Zach Braff returned to set as JD. Bill Lawrence, let's see, hybrid revival, blah, blah, blah. Other cast members may return. So he's the only one that is confirmed to be on the reboot. All the others, they say may, but have not been confirmed yet. So there you go. So probably maybe next season at the earliest. So Scorekeeper will be a happy camper.
I'm sure he will be.
So you can see Sarah, what is it, Chalk?
Sarah Chalk.
Yeah, it would be your favorite person to see again. I love the episode where she's here. Why not? Why is she not older? Maybe she got better.
I've seen her.
Somewhat. Oh.
She's a beautiful woman. She's not 21 anymore.
Didn't you just love the episode where she was flashing everybody, thinking that her boobs were healing everyone?
One person did get better.
Yes.
So she had magic boobs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for her. Hey, she thought she was curing cancer. Something which I will never agree with, but it doesn't matter whether I agree with it or not. The article is posted on screen. It's in the chat room for my co-hosts. A $2.8 billion settlement has been agreed to and has been allowed to move forward. Colleges are now allowed to pay their athletes. So this was broken late last night. Schools are now free to begin paying their athletes directly, making or marking the dawn of a new era in college sports, brought about by a multi-billion-dollar legal settlement that was formally approved on Friday. Judge Claudia Wilkin approved the deal between the NCAA, its most powerful conferences, and lawyers representing all Division I athletes. The House versus the NCAA settlement ends 3 separate federal antitrust lawsuits, all of which claim the NCAA was illegally limiting the earning power of college athletes. Wilkins' long-awaited decision comes with less than 1 month remaining before schools are planning to start cutting checks to athletes on July 1st. Both sides presented their arguments for approval and the settlement at a hearing in early April, which college sport leaders have been making tentative plans for a major shift in how they do business. The tight turnaround time means schools and conferences will have to hustle to establish the infrastructure needed to enforce the rules. Bureaucracy. The NCAA will pay nearly $2.8 billion in back damages over the next 10 years to athletes who competed, far be it for them to have completed, at any time from 2016 through present day. Moving forward, each school can pay its athletes up to a certain limit, which eventually that'll be litigated. The annual cap is expected to start at roughly $20.5 million per school in 2025, 2026, and increase every year during the decade-long deal. These new payments are in addition to scholarships and other benefits the athletes already receive. And that has been my contention. Knowing, okay, F all of you to begin with, okay, that are going to comment on this. I had to get that out of my system because I'm wasting time otherwise. F all of you because you're uneducated and you don't pay attention. There are a lot of colleges that are private, and where they get the money, you know how that works. Public colleges, you know where that money comes from. I've always had a contention about that. So if they're going to get a scholarship and still get paid, that's where my issue has been. But scorekeeper's issue matters not anymore. It is a done deal. They're going to get paid. Good for the players. And now I cannot wait to see how college football now becomes a workplace with all the rights thereof and everything that's going to happen. This is going to be a mess. So we'll see. And look, this whole thing with no respect whatsoever to a former host who was on this program who had sympathy to a lineman who was on a scholarship, but he was starving because he couldn't get a second. Dude, welcome to America. Welcome to America that a lot of people don't have money for lunch or for dinner, and they go to their job. So all disrespect to that former guest that used to be on with us. Now they're going to have all the money that they want. I can't wait to hear the bitching that's going to come of that. Let it go, America. Let it go. God bless you, and may all you live in the ignominy that's coming soon. Ooh, I don't think I've ever used that word on this program.
I don't think you have. What I think is going to be interesting is how will this affect the professional leagues, as far as baseball, football, basketball, and I guess maybe hockey, maybe some soccer. But the fact, and here's a good example: the Shador, the whole thing that happened with him dropping to round 5. He was a so-called rock star in college. So supposedly, with the earning potential of 5 to 10 to 20 or 5 to 10 plus $1 million per year in college, had this taken place, and he'll be eligible for, since they're going to be going back to 2016 to pay athletes that used to play in college. So the fact that he was earning that or could have earned that amount. Who knows if he was earning it or not? We don't know. But to go from there and then, of course, tumble in the draft to where he signed a contract for 4 years for $4 million, which essentially, of course, is $1 million a year. So are we going to get players that are going to refuse to sign, saying, well, I was earning $7 million a year in college. You know, how you expect me to sign for $900,000, you know, $1.2 million? How is that going to translate? So I have a feeling it's not just going to be a problem in the college level. It's going to be a problem in the pros, where these overinflated egos who have been pampered since birth, pretty much, you know, are going to once again, you know, be crying foul.
Interesting, Big Dog. I was thinking it through as you were mentioning all of that. Aisha, do you have any thoughts on that? I'm not trying to ambush you on that one, but do you have any thoughts on what the Big Dog was saying right now?
Well, yeah, I can see where he's coming from, because you are going to get these college kids that think they're the greatest things in sliced cheese and square bread, that will want everything. So yeah, I can see the SH1T hitting the fan, certainly.
Big Dog, I had thought of it like that. Thank you, Aisha, and you, Big Dog. That's going to be yet another issue. Look at all the football players already, and say, "Oh, well, you know, pay me my respect." And for many people, unfortunately, that just means money. And if they don't get their peanut-sized understanding of respect, think of how they play in the majors when they have a contract issue now. What's going to happen when it's in college?
There's going to be so many toys thrown out, so many prams. It's going to be unbelievable. Even the kindergartens are going to be swamped.
And of course, in 5 or 7 years, we're going to hear about colleges that, you know, were hiding actual sales amounts and so on and so forth.
Yes. Yes. There's, oh my God. I hadn't even thought it through. Hadn't even thought it through. Lito says the softball pitcher from Texas Tech is getting over $1 million. First, good for her. I think I know who you're talking about, Lito. And yes, good for her. But second, softball brings in no money. So it seems foolish to give so much to her. Yes. But, yeah, I 100%. But if that athlete adds to the credence of being on that particular college, it indirectly does. Because if you have her and other big names at your college, I can see there being, a benefit. But I agree. Look, the WNBA. Oh man! The commissioner has been suspended. Oh my God! Anyway, there's too much in the WNBA going on right now, folks. And I like her a lot. She's the player on the Sparks. I forget her name. She is like their star right now. She used the word that they wanted parity with the NBA. And then people were like, what are you talking about? There's no way, because the NBA brings in however many billions, and 52%, 54% of the gross goes to the players?
I think it's 52 right now.
Okay, good. 52%. And I think that's fair. Where's the talent? I have no problem with that whatsoever. And I'm talking basketball, so I use that term loosely. So anyway, she was saying that they want to get to parity. People are like, well, if you're going by that, that means each player owes like $30,000 every WNBA player. And then she said, no, I want it to be commensurate. Okay, college kid, you're still wrong. So the WNBA is still not generating money. That's really disappointing. Nope. It really is. They're taking millions of dollars of losses. And Caitlin Clark is changing that. and everyone, well, not everyone, there are a lot of people in the league that dislike Caitlyn. And I'm debating taking my daughters to see when Caitlyn shows up. Because I've seen Caitlyn play. I think she's good. I think she really is. But I have no desire to see any of the other players. And there have been some incredible players in the WNBA.
Yep.
But yeah. And now that hatred that they have for Caitlyn, when she is bringing more money into the league, whatever. So.
And the funny thing is, she's actually out now with a quad injury.
And how did that injury happen, Big Dog?
Actually, I didn't read into that, but most likely she was probably thrown to the ground by one of the other players, because that seems to happen on a regular basis. But what's funny is, of course, the Indiana Fever are the #1 team as far as attendance goes, and it's not even close.
Money generated.
Yes, and it's not even close. But the funny thing is, once Caitlyn's injury came out and the fact that she was going to be out for at least 2 weeks, the Indiana Fever ticket sales plummeted, where the average ticket was costing about $85 to $90.
Yeah.
And now that she's out, those same tickets can be found between $14 to $20. So all the people out there that say, oh, it's not just Caitlin Clark. Yes, it is. She has brought excitement into a league that essentially is not that exciting, because they play under the rim. And that's not a takeaway to these women, because they are incredible athletes.
Yes, they are. I've been barking about that. Sorry, Big Dog.
Yeah, they're just not as entertaining as the NBA, because the NBA, most of those guys in the NBA can play a foot above the rim regularly, and you just don't see that in the WNBA. And Caitlin Clark has brought excitement to the WNBA with her outside shooting skills. I mean, she has Steph Curry type distance in her shots, and there's just a lot of players that are not taking to Caitlin, because she's bringing so much positivity into the league, where they feel, at least this is my opinion, they feel they were as good or better players than what she is now, and they never got that recognition. So I have a feeling it is hatred, but it's more the jealousy side of hatred. They're just jealous that she's getting all this fanfare, and they didn't when they were doing what she was, or maybe more than what she's doing, because her team is not that good. I believe they're 3-4. But
she makes that team better. And forgive me.
Yes, she does.
The one thing I was dying to tell you, Big Dog, is when you were talking about Caitlin Clark, I think it's the Caitlin Clark effect. Her teammates work well with her. And she's a Magic Johnson style quarterback on that team.
Yep.
She is a team player. RG3 stated this week that if you lock Angel Reese into a room, and however many days later she comes out, she'll have 10 points and 10,000 rebounds. Do you know why Angel Reese leads in so many rebounds? Is because of all of her missed shots. This is a girl that is apparently, the best young player. She's in her second year. And I haven't seen her hit a layup yet. It's like, that's what you do as a forward.
Well, not only that, so there was statistics on her yesterday. I should have screenshot it, because I know you love statistics. You love numbers.
Sorry.
So they said shots within 5 feet, 5 feet and under. I believe she's taken 28 shots and made 4.
James Worthy is unimpressed.
But in that same, 24 shots, I believe she rebounded 18 of those 24 shots herself. So she rebounds her own shots.
I was going to say, no, she's rebounded 28 of those 24
just
shots.
about. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, all you have to do is Google her. I mean, there's people that are trying to defend her, and they're saying, oh, well, she gets doubles, almost every game. That's because she rebounds her own damn misses. I believe the percentage was 47% or 47.5% of her of her rebounds are her own missed shots.
RG3, 10 points, 10,000 rebounds. I loved it.
Yep.
Lethal said that the league is over 30 years old and still only has 13 teams. That tells you pretty much all you need to know. Folks, this isn't it. The issue is not Caitlin Clark. It's the league. I talked about this several months ago at the beginning of the WNBA when I mentioned we're entering year whatever. What does the WNBA do? Nothing. The game has not changed. It's unaltered from what it was when it first started. You want to watch clinic type basketball? NBA. They actually call traveling in the WNBA. I was genuinely surprised. But now the refs, I don't know what the hell was the matter with the refs. They missed so many calls, and I think that's one of the reasons why the commissioner was suspended, because there were issues. You got the teams complaining, you have the owners complaining, you have the players complaining, and the commissioner did nothing. So she was suspended by the NBA. She may not be coming back either. That's a shame. It's like there's an issue. All of you are complaining. What do you do to resolve it? I would have asked my boss, say, hey, I've got some real issues down here. Is this something that I should pay attention to, or should I ignore it? Well, it's rather entertaining what's going on right now. But it is what it is. Sue Bird for commission. Yeah. 7:28 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. This is Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. It's June 7th, 2025. Wonderful morning. We're halfway through this morning's program. Lethal, when you commented yesterday about the love line, my daughter was like, what is this? And I said, oh, that's funny. Let it go. So within minutes of you posting your comment, Lethal, we were at the baseball game, and your name was on my lips, sadly. Just thought you should know. All right. Any more comments on that, Big Dog? Otherwise, we move on to the next story?
No, go ahead.
All right. Anyone want to talk about anything in particular? Anime Girl, I am everywhere. I have friends everywhere. Yes. Aisha,
The hell
you have
was
any
that?
news that you wanted to get to right now?
No, I haven't got anything particular now, to be honest.
Oh, wow. In Major League Baseball, I don't know if you guys saw this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, stats. So layup leaders in the WNBA so far. Angel Reese is third in the league with the most amount of attempted layups. She's attempted 54 layups, but has only made 42% of them.
That's a layup, folks. My grandma can still lay up better than Angel Reese, and she's dead.
Here we go. All right, so this season. From shots less than 5 feet, she has attempted 52 shots and has made 17 for a shooting percentage of 32.7%. She is from 5 to 9 feet. She has tried 4 shots, only made 1. She tried 1 shot from 10 to 14 feet, did not make it. Has not tried anything 15 to 19 feet. And from 20 to 24 feet, she has made 1 of 4. So, yeah. So overall, her field goal percentage is 31.1%, which is actually down from last year, which I believe was 34.7% for the entire year. And
there
her
it is.
and of course the extra, all the stupid stats. Her EFG, which is her efficiency field goal percentage, is actually only 32%.
Wow.
But yet she says, that the league is there to watch her also. Yeah, they're there to watch her miss.
Basketball player. It is what it is. She's earning the money. Good for her. But Angel,
no, don't forget. She says she doesn't earn enough. That her NBA salary doesn't even pay her rent from where she lives.
Okay, well, sorry. Why don't you get a different job then? I did. Actually, I had multiple jobs when I was growing up because first one didn't pay the rent. So I had to do it. So go ahead. Talent isn't everything. But
when you don't have that, then you're in trouble.
Yeah. And that's why I'm in trouble. That's why I'm retiring. In the chat room, both in the private and the public, prosecutors call evidence in the Wander Franco trial convincing, unfortunately. This was yesterday, late last night, in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Key prosecution witnesses testified Friday in the trial of Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco, who faces charges of sexual abuse against a minor before the Puerto Plata Collegiate Court. The trial that was initially scheduled for December 12th was postponed until earlier this week, and 3 hearings have been held. On Thursday, the teenage girl testified behind closed doors. Yeah, I think she just turned a teenager, too. Wow. But I'm most likely wrong. Prosecutors described the evidence presented Friday as convincing and compelling. Franco Ibar kidnapped the victim for sexual purposes for several days and then sent large sums of money to her mother, as alleged by the prosecutors. Documents that prosecutors presented to the judge last year and were viewed by the Associated Press allege that Franco, through his mother, Yudelka Ibar, transferred 1 million pesos or 17,000 to the mother of the minor on January 5th, 2023, to consent to the purported abuse.
Wow.
The mother of the minor has been charged with money laundering and is under house arrest. Talk about shattered families, completely shattered on every way whatsoever. Just, ugh. Prosecutors say that the minor's mother went from being a bank employee to leading an ostentatious life and acquiring assets that she cannot justify using the funds she received from Franco. Franco, who turned 24 on March 1st, was in his 3rd major league season when his career was halted in August of 2023. He agreed to an 11-year, $182 million contract in November 2021. He is on Major League Baseball's restricted list after initially being placed on administrative leave. Franco, who was charged in July of 2024 and is on supervised release, could face up to 30 years in prison if found guilty. Trial will continue on Monday.
Since he is on the restricted list, does that mean he's still getting paid?
I believe he is.
Wow.
I don't have the answer to that, but I believe he is. Oh, well, wait a minute. No, administrative leave, you still get paid in something. He may not be paid after all. I guess I should look. No, I won't. I'm not going to look it up.
I mean,
I'm too damn lazy.
I know we're
I'm
all
retired.
I know we're all about, innocent until proven guilty, and we prove that stance with the Trevor Bauer situation.
I'm
We were one
sorry,
of the
with the who? I didn't hear.
with the Trevor Bauer situation that we always had the stance of wait, let's hear it all out. Yes, it sounds bad, but and we were one of the few news agencies
Yeah.
to take that stance. Everybody was condemning him and throwing the stones. In this case, it seems to be a little bit different. It, it seems like, okay, let's see how many years he's going to get. Now, who did he play for? Scorekeeper, I'm sorry. Or was he playing
was either
for?
Tampa Bay or Miami, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So, do you think that they're playing the wait and see game as far as why they haven't released him yet with all this overwhelming evidence that has come out against him?
Well,
Because I
he's
mean,
in trial. He's been indicted. It's not smart. They haven't done anything. And thank you for that lethal migraine. On administrative leave, he was being paid unrestricted, no payment at all. So I'm glad I remember that. Folks, when all this news broke, unfortunately, we were like, this guy's screwed. I mean, that's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
When they said they had pictures, they had the video, well, not the video. God forbid they have video. But when they had the text messages, and the whole case hit the news on this one. Or the entire case, hit the news. Nothing's changed. I believe.
If anything, it's gotten worse for him.
Yeah. Look, he's innocent. The individual deserves his day in court. But thank goodness I'm not over there. So, now, stupid lethal. In his defense, she shouldn't have dressed that way. Yeah, I think when she was 11. I know he's being sarcastic. I know that's what he's going to say. She wasn't even a teenager back then, man. So, I don't know. I guess the little, the little overcoat when she was wearing a tricycle wasn't good enough for it, or was what turned it for him.
Now, here's something that just popped into my mind with this case.
Sports Talk with the guys, we'll put a disclaimer on this one.
Yes, definitely. This is Big Dog's opinion and his opinion only. So now we have this case, and pretty much he's done for in the eyes of almost everyone in the sports world because of the overwhelming evidence. Now, how does that compare to letting Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame, since he did the exact same thing?
I don't make those decisions, Big Dog. But like I said,
I know.
All I can say is the whole thing of Pete Rose, everything I said is coming to pass.
Yes, that is exactly true.
Pete is white. It's okay.
Okay, I will give that mentality to a lot of people. Those are that mentality are the same people that voted in the orange orangutan. So, but yeah. So, if those same reporters, which would be interesting to find out, if the reporters are saying throw Wander into prison and throw away the key, but yet they're okay with letting Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame, I would love to hear their justification for it.
That's what I believe.
You're absolutely right. Oh, you forgot the. Oh, and I love the fact that the two little adolescents are having a little Twitter war.
And once again, elegant proof.
Jerry Lee Lewis, yeah.
Well, that was also from the South, though that was doubly okay.
And it was the 50s.
things are much different. So,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, obviously we're being a tad foolish right now, and
A
She's my
tad.
cousin.
A tad
She,
foolish.
she's my cousin daughter wife.
hi, anime girl. Yes, we are being a tad foolish on that. So, for me to have put a disclaimer on the Big Dog comments, I should have put a disclaimer on my comments as well. It was unfair for me to have done so. But we're going to go ahead and continue. It is 7:40 a.m. It is Sports Talk with the guys. The situation down there is pretty bad, folks. This player will almost undoubtedly never play baseball ever again, unless it's on the prison courtyard or something like that.
What was his
And
contract, scorekeeper? 100 what now? Over how many years?
it was like a $7 or $8 million deal, dude. Now you're making me go back and look. 11-year, 182 million
182
in November of 2021.
divided by 11. So he was making 16,545 a year. Wow.
But he signed that deal when he was 20 or 21.
Yeah.
That was life altering,
Oh, hell yeah.
and he took the guarantee.
Well, I mean, if he's convicted and of course found guilty, I believe the following day will be his release from that contract. Because I don't think Miami or Tampa Bay, whoever he was playing for, I don't think are going to wait. You know, if he gets convicted and is found guilty, you know, it's not it it. Yeah, I don't think it'll be even 24 hours before they announce the release of that contract under the morality clause.
Probably
Because I don't think
they're
they're.
already looking for a way out now.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's why I was mentioning that earlier. You know, why haven't they released it? They're probably playing to wait and see. You know, but as I said, you know, they're just probably waiting. Scorekeeper, do you think, let's say by whatever that he's found not guilty, do you think Major League Baseball will let him back?
Not a hope in hell.
No. Oh, he's contemplating.
Problem he got is he's soil goods. Even if he walks away,
He
he's
will not play because under the agreement that Major League Baseball, the commissioner has, he will have been found of violating the morality clause. And even though, like, what, but he was innocent. You put yourself in a position, and guys, I agree with the morality clause, believe it or not. But you know, when you go to court and you get exonerated and everything, you should be if you are entitled to be judged by it, you should also have the remedies of
Yeah,
I'm not
I
saying it
get you.
correctly, but thank you. If you have to pay the price one way, well, the benefit goes the other way, doesn't it? So
It should.
Trevor Bauer should be playing in Major League Baseball today. Now, Trevor Bauer has the baggage of he's an asshole. Sorry.
And that's being nice.
That's folks. We were picking on Trevor Bauer long before all this happened.
Oh, yes. Big time.
But and I do appreciate that Big Dog reminded everyone that when this happened, we were like, hey, let's wait and see. And I still believe that the way Major League Baseball suspended him, that was still not right. But again, that's a labor law issue that is best left to smarter people.
What? They're smarter people than you, scorekeeper? Say it ain't so.
If you want to be an a-hole, you have to be elite, like Ty Cobb, Pete Rose, Barry Bonds. So I'm glad that we're able to have these conversations. that there are people on all sides that watch this program that definitely will not agree with us, and we will never agree with them because it's just it is what it is. But hey, this is what sports is, and I feel bad that he's in the spot that he is because he should be playing. Look, there are other people that dislike Trevor, and they're like, "Ah, good for him, he's done." Dude, okay, yes, he was found innocent on everything. But the thing is, Major League Baseball says don't put yourself in a position that you'll have to be going through this. And he did. So, and then the people in America are like, well, that was in private. Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever. You put yourself into the position. So it's done. Mr. Bauer should be playing baseball today. But because he's pissed everyone off under the sun, it's an easy decision for Major League Baseball. He brings baggage. And the thing about Bauer is he doesn't listen. Major League Baseball has a way of doing things, and Bauer doesn't do it that way. When it comes to his exercising, his routines, they are different. And it works for him. And he shuns the Major League Baseball way of doing things. Baseball has no time for that. So if you're going to go against the grain, yeah, that's going to cause some problems. Folks, it's the way it is. Sorry. I'm just a messenger.
Speaking of Trevor Bauer, LA court orders Trevor Bauer's accuser to pay Trevor Bauer over $300,000 in a settlement violation.
Wait a minute, who's paying? Oh, the accuser. One
the
of them.
Accuser. Yeah, the accuser. It says a Los Angeles Superior Court judge ordered the woman to pay the woman who accused former Dodger Trevor Bauer of sexual assault to pay more than $300,000, providing the terms of a settlement agreement on Monday. That was this past Monday. Lindsey Hill accused Bauer of sexual assault in 2021, leading to a Major League Baseball investigation that resulted in a massive suspension for Bauer, and they would ultimately settle their lawsuits in 2023, with Bauer suing Hill for defamation while she sued for assault and sexual battery. It was agreed that neither party would pay the other, but that changed after LA Superior Court Judge Daniel Crowley ordered Hill to pay Bauer $309,832.02. This came after Hill's attorney told Bauer's attorneys in an email that she would receive $300,000 from her insurance policy. Bauer is to receive $220,000 for damages, while attorney fees, which were $68,939, interest, which is $16,634, and costs, which were $4,257, to bring the grand total to a little over $309,000. Says that Hill breached their settlement agreement with each other by discussing Bauer on podcasts and public appearances, the LA Times reported. There you go. Now, whether he sees any cent of that money, I do not know if she has the means to pay that kind of money. But I'm pretty sure they're going to start putting, liens or stuff on whatever they can. And once again, this settlement is again another vindication for Bauer to really, throw the fact that he was innocent. And as we said before, even though he is the asshole of all assholes, pretty much, he does have major league ability, and I think he should be playing somewhere in Major League Baseball. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on that. But I think he'd look good in pinstripes, and that would be not only a boost for the pinstriped team, but also kind of a little joke, wearing pinstripes, which has a connotation to jail, and him not being there, but still wear pinstripes.
You mean with the Twins? Yeah.
Sure.
Or the Padres. Sure. That'd
They
be
have
something.
pinstripes? They have
Yeah,
pinstripes?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they had. I don't know if they still. Yeah, I think they do. I don't know. I don't pay attention to uniforms. Lethal says that he just listened to a 6-hour podcast within the reasonable amount of time. Pete's dad got him addicted to gambling. What he learned was that Pete was distributing cocaine through Gold's Gym. He was in prison with John Gotti. They worked in the welding room together. One other thing they didn't know that Willie Mays got banned from baseball for a while due to his affiliation with some casino. Yes, I believe he actually had a management position, and Mickey Mantle was also banned from
I remember
Major League
that. I
Baseball
remember that part.
because he was a greeter at a casino.
Yep.
So he also got banned. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Guys, again, to the a-holes of the world, you're stupid. Okay? You're stupid because number one, you're stupid. Okay? 2, baseball has one supreme rule. It's no gambling. That's it. That's it. It's very simple. No gambling. Okay? You gamble, you risk your professional life. That's it. It's in your contract. You're reminded all the time, no gambling. You want to play baseball? No gambling. And what's the first thing these idiots do? They gamble. Okay.
But I'm not gambling on my team, or if I do, it's only for my team to win. What's so bad about that?
No gambling. Star Trek fans get it. It's called the Prime Directive. So
How many times have they broken that?
that's neither here nor there. James Kirk is a hero, even though he is a temporal menace. 17 known violations. And we're not even discussing the alternate universe. So
Janeway broke it as well.
yeah, she did. Oh, I'm sorry. Just kidding. Yeah, she did. These days, I blame the leagues. All of them are sponsored by many betting sites, and the broadcasts are 2 to 3 hours of nonstop betting lines. I agree, sir. I agree. Baseball, ugh.
It's so funny when you see it. Oh, this game is brought to you by Sports King, blah 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 blah. If you have a gambling problem, please call this number.
Yeah.
Gambling should be fun. Step away if you're spending too much money. Yeah, like really, you're going to do that?
So many people. Well, there are people that do have an addiction, an issue, a problem. I know that my brother, for instance, even though he passed away, oh my goodness, this is 11 months to the day today.
Oh wow.
He was good at the craps table. He was really good that he would win money, but he didn't know, as I've been told by particular family members, I'm never going to hear the end of this. So, F you too. Anyway, the whole thing is that he didn't know when to quit. If he had someone with him, he would dude, right here, just go and stop. That he would accumulate money, but he'd give it right back. I don't know how true that is, but I do believe my mother in that story. So folks, I'm not a professional gambler, even though I was gambling at 19. Big Dog knows this. And Tony and I would do the turnarounds from 134. I would let this grow for a day or two, and I had a shadow. So when I went to Las Vegas, I've never been carded in Las Vegas. Not once. I will never be carded in Las Vegas. I mean, even when the cops show up, they're like, just give me your insurance and registration. They don't even ask for my ID. So, but I was gambling, and I don't pretend. Tony, the Big Dog, and I are discussing the same coworker. He taught me to play by the rules, Las Vegas. So I know the rules. That doesn't mean I'm any good at it. Because you've got to make decisions based on what's in front of you, what's on the. Because I learned that you can have 4 players at a table and you have one dumbass at the table, he screws it up for everyone.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've learned that. I have. And I think Tony taught me to play because I was that dumbass. Oh, I've got 15. The dealer's got a 16. I'll take the hit. You don't take the hit, you dumbass. Because he's got a hold at 17. And then the difference between a 17 and a soft 17. Oh, my God, that drove me to drink for the longest time. Dealer stays in a soft 17. What the hell's a soft 17? It's either 17 or nothing. Oh, my God. But those were the subtle. I had to learn the differences in all that. And I remember the time that I think the dealer had a 4 showing, and I had 11. What did I have? I think I had 2 10s. And Tony said, split it. I'm like, what? Split it. Oh, no. He said double down. I think he was like double down. Dude, that's $18. Yeah, I told you the story, right? Big dog, it was $18. Dude, that's $18. And then Tony, being Tony, no guts, no glory. Loud.
Yep.
It was like 2, 3 in the morning at the Mirage. And everyone around at the table, I think the damn dealer included, they all chuckled and they laughed. And they're like, what's it going to be? Because, the dealers can't really, I mean, they can converse with you and stuff, but they can't tell you what to do. But, dude, when it's funny, it's funny. So Tony said, I'll put the damn money in. It's $18. It's $18. That does make me holla. In 1989, $18. Dude, that was minimum wage was $3.65 an hour.
Yep.
That was 5 hours of work, man. So he put in the $18, and whatever it was, I got the card underneath because I doubled down. So that means they hand you the card, it's face down, and everyone plays through. The damn dealer scored a 20. And because I doubled down, I got a 21.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's because of Tony. Otherwise, I would have hosed. I think I would have lost. Because I think I was going to hold. I was going to stay. So I would have lost. And there was Tony doubling down. But Tony was an aggressive, good bettor. And he says, dude, you're not going to win. What? Why are we saddling up? You want to extend your play. So what do you mean? And even Tony knew back then that it was entertainment.
Yeah. Yep.
So he learned the rules to extend the play. And by extending the play, statistically, your chances of actually hitting a jackpot. Oh, sorry, Tortuga. I was acting like you. I didn't want you to stutter. Look, at 7:57. Oh, look, Tortuga, 7:58. Hola. How are you?
What's up, Matt?
So,
Hi,
I'm
Matt.
going way too much. Tony Konopka, thank you for the like, brother. Get your ass in here, dude.
Where's he to this week?
I don't know. He gave us a like a little while ago. Come on, Tony.
Back to what you were saying about, that an amateur can ruin the whole table. I saw that. I was watching the World Series of Poker, and it was the 4 pros, 4 seasoned pros. You've seen
Sorry.
you've seen these guys on TV before, and it was 4 of those guys, and the 5th guy was an amateur that got
Roger
in
was there.
because he won on like computer poker or something like that, so he had a seat at the table, and they were playing, and he was like seat number 2. So they went, they did their cards and they did their bets, and they were in, I think they were getting ready to flip the river on the card. And he decided to take a card, even though what he had showing was, what he had showing was you shouldn't take a card. You should stand pat. And he took the card. And as soon as he said, hit me, or he made the signal, I can't remember what it was, whether he said it or made the signal, the guy in chair number 3 went ballistic because he knew, and the card that was thrown, I guess, was the card that the next guy needed. and of course, and by taking that card, he messed up his hand. So all the way was around, but yeah, chairs 3, 4, and 5 they all went ballistic, but number 3 really went off the rails. You know, jumped up and down. They actually had to get one of the people in to like calm him down. And he kept saying, you know, what's he doing taking the card? Doesn't he know how to play? This is what you get when you get nothing but amateurs in here, and blah blah blah. This would have been a $5,000 pot for me. Now I'm walking away with nothing. Oh, he was hot. And the amateur guy was like, every time he'd yell, he was like sinking more and more into his cards.
Yeah, it's okay, Matt. We're glad that it's all good now. Hopefully your phone is good. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 8:01 a.m. Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday morning quarterbacks on Saturday. I'm the scorekeeper. We have the yawning Big Dog that has all of his pieces. And, of course, we have Anime Girl. Big Dog has gambled a little bit. I don't know how much so, but Anime Girl, did you ever get a chance when you were in Hong Kong to try the casinos in Hong Kong or anywhere else in the world? Were you a gambler?
When I was in Hong Kong, I was too young to go to Macau to use the gambling tables. Plus, we weren't allowed. As I got older, no, you're talking to somebody that once had the misfortune of picking a horse in the Grand National. Somebody said, oh, do me a favor, swamp it with me. And I went, okay. And guess what? It won and I lost. So when it comes to gambling, hell no. I couldn't win a one-legged ass kicking contest.
Thank you, Matt. We were in 304, but love you nevertheless. Appreciate it. Actually, the weather was damn nice too. It was actually very nice yesterday. It was.
Yeah, I saw the video on Facebook.
Yeah, dude, the camera guy was right in front of me. I'm like, holy crap, there's a damn good chance we're going to be on video. So I just put the phone right there in front of me. And then, of course, Tommy in front of me put her branch arm in front of the video.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for ballast purposes, you put the heavy ones forward, but what the hell?
I'm not saying a word.
There wasn't a word to say. You saw it. You saw the video.
Yes.
I mean, when the arms went up, it blocked my entire video screen. Jeez. So, but it was good. There were a lot of people around me that I guess they realized I was the only one that recorded the video of everyone getting on. So I now know how to use what's it called? Apple Drop or something? I forget what it's called. AirDrop, yeah. I know how to use AirDrop now. Everyone around me, and I had some people in the executive suite actually come down and slum it with us. Because we're on the row of the executive ones. You know, Big Dog, the ones that are the seats are padded. Oh, I love those seats, dude.
Yep.
I love the 300s at Angel Stadium. And I think the ones at Dodger Stadium are also padded on the 300s. And they're just good seats. I think that's called club level at Dodger Stadium. So, but I like those seats because they have padding on them. They're nice, man. It feels a lot better going to a game when you have the seats padded. So, we were there, and I had 3 people come up to me and say, hey, did you get a video? I said, yeah, I did. So it was really cool. I was doing the connection thing. It was neat. Good time yesterday.
Good. I'm glad.
Thank you, Lethal. As I stated earlier, thank you.
I did say Macau.
Yes. That's
no Anime Girl. He was correcting scorekeeper.
Yes, he was as well. So, good morning, everyone. It's 8:05 a.m. This is Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday morning quarterbacks on Saturday, June 7, 2025. We are in our last hour on this wayward Saturday because it's just one of those things that we're only going to be on air for about 30. Oh my God, Big Dog, do what you need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment. It has arrived. And Big Dog will do what Big Dog must do.
Oh, no.
Here he is, folks. The man, the myth, the legend of sports talk with the guys. He is here. He has graced us with his presence. We are humbled to be before him. Oh, you even got the tip of the hat. So, of course, give it up for him, fans. He is the
Praise God, damn it!
Damn!
Special.
Okay,
Damn,
once
Big
again,
Dog.
Tony,
Damn,
you
Big
got
Dog.
blown on air.
Wow. I was wore out halfway through there. I was like, man.
That actually felt good. It did not bother me at all, and actually could have went longer, but Anime Girl made me laugh when she said breathe.
I mean,
Hey!
everybody think this was something special. It's only a bloody Eagles fan.
It's Philly
No,
special.
there's nothing special. You know, Ted
Hey,
It's a
does
Philly
that.
special.
Philly special.
That's
No,
right.
it's not. It's bloody Dodo. Who cares?
Okay, before we go any further, I need to remind Matt. Matt, we love you, but Letho's correct on this one. Where's the chair video? I wanted to see it actually get assembled. Dude, Matt, nothing. We love you, brother, but we think there's some chicanery going on. Oh, yeah, that's the second time I've used that one. But we believe there's some chicanery going on here. So look it up, damn it. I don't have time.
So Philly, what you drinking? Are you drinking a cup of coffee or what?
Yeah, I need it today. I'm on low.
Really?
I'm
You
low.
want coffee? Has the zombie
I love-
apocalypse begun?
I did an
I love the
18-hour day yesterday.
I love the mug.
Me too. No, I had an 18-hour day yesterday, so and all week out of state training, working. So just got
How's the training going?
good. It's going really good. We worked all day, then we hosted an event all night, Thursday and Friday. So
hopefully there's no video you climbing, you be dancing on the tables.
no, can't drink alcohol while we're working. So everybody else gets to drink and have a good time. We actually got to sell cigars. So it's like,
Philly, I do want to. There's several things I want to tell you. Number one, this was good. Big Dog, you got reprimanded now. He wants to correct one thing. He's never been on camera. The label of myth belongs to him. Okay, that was cool. All right. Aaron Rodgers is now with Pittsburgh. No, as in no more conspiracy theories, no more who gives a rat's ass, no more.
who gives a rat's ass?
Oh, it still is.
It still is.
I also want to tell you that you said you were working 18 hours yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, this is one of my greatest pleasures, what I'm about to tell you. I may have been awake for 18 hours yesterday. What a dick.
Damn.
Yeah, it was funny, guys. Where were we? It happened in the last 3-4 days. Gmo was with me. I think Claudia was there too. I think we were at a restaurant, and I stopped, and I actually shocking. I stopped. I sat back and I said, "Holy crap! I'm retired. I'm all right with this. I'm like, yes. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's actually going to be effective. I'm not sure if you heard that part, Tony. You may have, you may not. Mm-hmm. It's going to be my last official day is June 12th. So June 13th is my retirement day. So my marriage anniversary was on the 12th. That ended a part of my life on the 13th. Very good. On the 13th, that also ends another part of my life. Oh my God. How apropos. That just happened. And on the 14th, That's her birthday. I mean, is that a Triple Crown winner or what? I mean, I was sandwiched in. We got married on the 12th. Her birthday is the 14th. I retire on the 13th, for the love of God. Is that hardcore numerology or what?
That's
you know
crazy.
what, Philly? Bigfoot does exist. Hey, you know what, Tony? That's a genuine laugh. I appreciate that, brother. I'm going to go looking for that guy now. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry I doubted you. I'm sorry. Were you that dumb shit host that believed in me, but you were lying all that time? I wasn't lying. It's entertainment, sir. Growing up, I believed in you. I lost my faith. I told you guys, right, when I was younger, I had the covers over all the time when I was left alone because I would hear the footsteps outside in the room. I was like, oh, my God, Godzilla, Bigfoot. The footsteps I heard was my heart pounding in my ear.
It was a kukui.
It was the kukui. Oh, my God, I never told you that one, Tim. I never told that one story, huh? I'm like, oh, my God. The pound. I hear the footsteps. It was a heartbeat in the.
That's funny.
It's sad, dude. It's funny. It's sad. Oh, Pittsburgh likes psycho quarterbacks. Talk to us. Your thoughts.
So Philly, do you feel that? Here's a loaded question. Do you feel that it is a step up or a step down from Russell Wilson?
Oh,
step
wow.
down.
Yeah.
Step down. I think it's a step down from Justin Fields because at least he was young.
Oh, yeah.
Did the Jets make the playoffs?
I thought they did. I thought they were out in the first round. I really don't remember.
The Jets?
Yeah.
They had what, 4 wins? 5, 6 wins?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, you know what?
no.
You're right.
Yeah, they're really bad.
Yeah, and we talked about that earlier. How as a team they sucked, but if you do individual statistics, Aaron Rodgers actually had a very good season. Over 4,000 yards. I forgot only 11 interceptions to like 30-something touchdowns. I mean, he had a good season. The team did not, but I do not see him gelling at all in Pittsburgh, especially with Tomlin. Tomlin likes things done at
12. 5 and 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't
Yeah,
gel. They had an a-hole leading them. That's why they
Pittsburgh
didn't.
did make the playoffs.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
It's a step down.
Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh, yeah. Pittsburgh makes the playoffs every year. They're the only constant in the NFL.
Except for this year.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
And they better not.
I'm sorry.
They better not blame Tomlin because I think
I was knocking on the wrong wood. Let me do that now. There we go.
Stop upsetting the wood.
You had too much coffee or something.
Now, what would have been funnier is if you would have had your hand off to the side and maybe kind of do that and make the sound.
Can't.
That would have been better.
Okay, I can't because of my neck.
See, that would have been better if you would have been
Oh my God.
It would have been a tad more unrealistic. But thank you, Matt. Congratulations. And as much as I appreciate that, Matt, I would appreciate you being a man and showing me that damn video of you sitting in the chair.
See, I don't know if you know this, Philly, but Roger can ring the doorbell without using his hands.
Oh, please don't go there.
Roger has a little smirk because he's thinking about it. He's thinking,
envision that.
Yeah, because he's going, can I actually reach?
Like, yeah.
How to keep 4 idiots in suspense?
Hey, size 12.
Question.
Size 12. That's all I can say. Size 12.
You're bragging or complaining?
Oh, I'm bragging, baby. Anyway, so Aaron Rodgers is going to join the Steelers at no.
He's their starting quarterback, Matt.
Yes. I saw something about that from this crappy phone. Hey, Matt, can you show us the picture of your crappy phone? Can you take a picture of your crappy phone?
His phone doesn't
Matt.
take pictures.
Shh, I want to know how long you figure it out. God damn it.
There's always one, isn't there? There's always one.
God
Big
damn
dog,
it, Big
I
Dog.
thought
That was a
better of
great
you.
setup, dude. I'm surprised you didn't let that one go through. Hey, Matt, take a picture of your phone, please. You know,
The Philly special sitting there going to say something. You can see it. Look, it's going to burst.
Yes.
Look. It's gone. He's
has
gone.
to.
The dodo
Because-
has cracked.
and I'm waiting for him to say it too. But the reality is, folks, that when it comes to being an a-hole to Matt, everyone thinks it's the Big Dog. And the Big Dog has been consistent on one thing, and that was Barney. But if you look back, not that you ever would, and I swear to God, if you guys go back and listen, you're really sick. But if you think about it, Tony, in the few years you've been here, how can I do that? Holy
Hold on now. I just got to fast forward this live feed to find out how this ends.
How can I do that?
I couldn't mute myself.
Matt would be the guy who would say, I'll be back right now, and he would leave, and you text him, hey, you left your phone behind, and he looks at his phone and goes, oh, I left my phone behind, let me go back and get it. That would be Matt. And spend 10 minutes looking for his phone. And I'd be the a-hole sitting there going, Matt, how do you know you left your phone behind? Well, you texted it to me. And
okay, there's no need to be a dick now. Okay, but if you guys do go back and you listen, Big Dog's been consistent with one thing with him, and that was Barney. If you go back and think about it, Tony, I'm the one that's easy. I'm the one that's actually gone after him more often than not. But it suits the family, the image that I've been able to get across to everyone. Big Dog, don't be that way to him. It has worked for 17 years, and everyone thinks a Big Dog is the mean one to Matt, when in reality, I'm the ape.
Well, that's because he had his persona. You know, he wasn't Speedy at the time. He was Barney Lover 69. I mean, we couldn't help it.
Actually, that was Lethal Migraine.
Yeah, it was.
That was Lethal Barney Lover 69. Oh my! And it's also been Lethal that has called Matt the athletics president's fan club member.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay. Oh, for the love of God. Big Dog, I've seen those videos about that telling someone, that's not cool. Matt, we were just telling that story right now. That's all. You happen to be a part of it. That's it, brother. So anyway, Matt, what kind of phone do you have? I understand that you don't know how to take a picture of it. But Matt, when you're taking a picture of something and then you want to take a picture of yourself, you just got to flip it. That's all you have to do with your phone. Just flip it.
Well, he has a Google phone, model POS.
2 cups in a string. I asked, what's his model of phone? 2 cups in a string. Philly, I've been rude. What are your thoughts in addition to about Aaron Rodgers? Because I just don't have. I think what the hell is the matter with Pittsburgh? This is a storied franchise.
Well, they put themselves in a horrible position when they got rid of both of their quarterbacks. So then you're are they gonna tank? So it's like, I guess this is tanking in style, maybe. If you went with Kyle Rudolph, there's nothing behind that. But your tank with Aaron Rodgers, it's like, oh, we're really trying to win. We're bringing in Aaron Rodgers, quotes, air quotes.
Yeah.
No, they're going to tank because they know he stinks.
Father Time has definitely caught up to that man.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what?
Hired him or what? Who caught up with Father Time?
And it's hard to say because like I said, individually, when you look at his stats, he had a great stat line again, but it just didn't convert team wise. And I feel bad for Pittsburgh fans because every single person I know that even has some sort of fondness of the Steelers, they're taking the same attitude as we are. In fact, my next door neighbor is a diehard Steelers fan. And he just came back from a business trip and I said, "Hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah." I said, "Oh, by the way," I go, "what do you think of your new quarterback?" And he's all, "Shut up." And he walked inside.
La Tortuga is, I know Philly and Big Dog are pissed that many of their favorite wrestlers are gone from WWE, and HHH could leave too.
It's Triple H, by the way. Yeah, I love you too.
Triple H could leave. What's the meaning by that?
That's a rumor that's going around that evidently they're supposedly cleaning house and that they don't like what Triple H is doing or the moves he's making. What people don't know is he's not in charge of making the moves. That's someone higher up than him. He's in charge of talent relations, storylines, and making sure the product is on TV and gets decent ratings. That's it. That's what he's in charge of.
General manager, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And of course, what they're talking about is R-Truth, Ron Killings, who's been a member of WWE for almost 20 years. He doesn't wrestle much, but he is comedy relief, and the guy has perfect comedic timing. I mean, he always says the greatest things. Always, they've interviewed him, as Ron Killings, not as his character, and he just says, "Hey, I know I'm 47, 40, whatever he is, late 40s," and he's I know my skills aren't quite there. He goes, "But I'm just there to have a good time and to make sure the fans walk away with a smile on their face." And when you have that kind of attitude, yeah, you're going to stick around. So that is, I think, the biggest shock of a wrestler being released in a long, long time. No one saw that one coming. So,
are you able to see La Tortuga's comments in the lower right-hand corner, kind of like near Aisha's? I'm debating whether we're going to be using that or not. It showed comments on stage.
I don't see anything.
There it
is. There it is. Okay, yeah. It's kind of small.
Yeah.
Whoa! I was talking about the comments, dude.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I was talking about Matt. Kind of small.
Don't need to get personal.
It's a little cold. I guess it's a little cold in Northern California right now. I almost got Philly. He almost spit that coffee out. That was close.
That was very close.
Yeah. Good try, but no rubber duck. You missed it. Sorry.
That uncomfortable silence when we all have nothing to say.
Well, so switching gears in sports, did anybody catch game 1 of the NBA Finals?
Nope.
I was at a baseball game last night.
The game was day before yesterday.
I was planning to go to a baseball game the next night.
So in other words, no. Just say no, God damn it.
So the people that don't know, it is the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers.
Mr. Big Dog, I so desperately
yes,
need to interrupt you right now.
Okay.
Something has happened in the NDB media universe, and I have to come clean right now. So, Big Dog, we're going to return to you in just a moment.
Okay.
But the question is listed right there. Who is shorter, Altuve or Matt?
Ooh.
I'm so sorry.
That actually is a good question.
Who is shorter? Altuve from the A-Holes or Matt from NDB Media?
I'd say Altuve. Because even wearing shoes with the spikes, he's still
Hey Matt, there's a store over there that sells batteries. I don't know, big dog. I was reliving being with Matt on Sunset Boulevard. Hold on, let me see. Hey, Matt, store's over there. I don't know who's taller. I really don't know.
What kind of batteries was he buying for his sexual toy?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Listen, Matt thinks when the phone vibrates, it's a sexual toy. So shut up. Be careful.
Well, that's why he keeps calling himself off the landline.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
Matt knows I'm only taking the
Alvarez. I was a jerk when I commented that you were 2 feet off the ground. I am so sorry. I apologize, Mr. Matt. You are shorter than I am.
Yeah, it was 2.5 feet.
No need to be a dick. So I apologize, big dog. I deliberately interrupted you because I was an a-hole. Would you please go over game 1 that happened sometime last week?
The game was played on Thursday after an extended layoff for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they came out raring to go, not like what happened last time when they lost at game 1. But the Indiana Pacers, this particular team this year has a perseverance to never give up. They were down by as many as 15 points in the closing time of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter.
Wow.
And they slowly chipped away and got their very first lead of the game with 0.3 seconds left on the clock.
Wow.
After a massive comeback. And Oklahoma City missed, of course, the shot because all you can do is catch and shoot. Can't turn around, can't do anything on point 3. We know you can do it on point 4 because Derek Fisher has gone down in history doing that. But point 3, you just cannot get it done. The lob pass was off, and the Indiana Pacers stunned the and Scorekeeper is going to love this one. The Indiana Pacers stole game 1 from from the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City to gain home field advantage by taking that game 1. The game 2 is today. The Oklahoma City Thunder are favored by 10.5 as they were in game 1. So we will see. But this Indiana team is really. I'm sorry? Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow. Why wait 3 days?
Well, they played Thursday. Yeah, they should be playing today. Usually
Right.
They usually go with the every other game. Probably for the ratings, there must be something going on in college or something somewhere where there's a big game today.
I mean, yeah.
I thought it was Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
It depends on what round it is, but that's usual. The way it usually works is they play every other day, and then you get the extra day with 2 days off in between travel time. But there's no reason for travel. I have no idea why they're extending the playoffs or the championships.
Yeah, that makes no sense. A Thursday and a Sunday, home and home. That's nuts.
Yeah. So I'll give it to, like I said, the Indiana Pacers. These guys do not give up. Halliburton is turning out to be a true star. He wants the ball with the game on the line. And this was the third time in this year's playoffs that he did exactly what he did to the Oklahoma City Thunder, hitting that last game-winning shot with less than 2 seconds left on the clock. He did it against New York. He did it against Milwaukee. And all game winners. And never looked rushed, never looked panicked at all. He just did what he needed to do, got to the spot where he wanted to get to in the allotted time. It was interesting because Oklahoma City was up by 1 point, and they had the ball with, I believe it was 11.5 seconds left. And SGA, who of course was the MVP, had an opening, took his shot, that falling leaner that he does, and he just clipped the back of the rim, and the Pacers got it with about 8.5 seconds left, did not call the timeout, and just went straight forward, and Halliburton got the ball, got into position, and shot about an 18 to 19 footer from the right side, which is his spot, and he just, nothing but net. And
I was listening to like the pregame, and everybody all the analysts were saying that this would be one of the biggest upsets in NBA Finals history if Indiana was somehow to pull it off. I mean, this is like a total David and Goliath.
Yes, only because Oklahoma City has been the best team all season long. They had the best point differential. I think the third best in all of NBA history. The accolades were just coming from everywhere for the Thunder. But they are the youngest. They are also the youngest team in basketball. So, and they have no playoff experience other than Caruso. Championship experience other than Caruso, who of course won with the Lakers in 2020. But the Pacers are just those underdogs that just will not give up. You would probably love them, Philly. The underdog team.
I want to watch as many of these games as I can because, I definitely will catch the game tomorrow because I figured Oklahoma City would just run away with it. But now I'm kind of excited that Indiana won game one. I'm excited because I like underdogs when I don't have a dog in a fight. So
yeah, exactly. Same here. And I got a buddy, and he's he's like the number one Thunder fan. And after the game was over, where it was a shocker, everybody was shocked. I texted all my friends who were like in a group chat. I was like, someone check on Jason, see if he's okay. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, no lead is too big for Indiana to overcome. They stayed basically between 8 and 12 points the entire game. Got as high as 15, got as low as like 6 or 4, and then it would go back up to 8 or 10. But that fourth quarter, just they were chipping away, point here, point there, and next thing you know, they're down by 3, they're down by 2, they're down by 1. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to
hats off to them.
That's awesome.
What I'm thinking though is if they do pull off the upset, do they give an honorary ring to Reggie Miller?
Dude, win the series first.
No, that's what I said. If they were to win the series.
I love Reggie, but I don't think so.
Me either, but you never know.
What he did to
the one thing that is I think the first time in a very, very long time is this is the first time that a team going to the NBA, the team's going to the NBA Finals, whoever wins will be the team's first championship. Because as you all know, Oklahoma City used to be Seattle, but when they moved, they left everything from Seattle behind. They say they do not claim Seattle's championship in '79. So, and of course, we all know Indiana has never won one in the NBA.
No!
Much as Reggie Miller tried. Reggie tried his best, but just could not get it done.
Oh, wow. Knowing that Indiana's never won, I'm sure that's what's going to keep me up at night. Anyway, so someone stole something? I was catatonic a little while ago.
Yeah.
The game they stole the game. Can you imagine that? Scorekeeper, how impossible that may seem that they stole a game.
Oh, this must be a game 1 somewhere in the NBA.
And you know what? They're probably calling Halliburton a future.
Good thing he got bonked out of there. Scorekeeper would have went nuts.
Oh, Scorekeeper, I know. I think he heard me. He's just ignoring me. Oh, am I? Oh, shoot. Let me. I now for some reason disconnected. So let me try to reconnect again. But Scorekeeper, what I would say is Scorekeeper is that Halliburton.
Future Hall of Famer.
Scorekeeper. Oh. I'll kid aside. You should watch the end of the Indiana New York game were, they became the Eastern Conference champions. So of course they announced who the MVP is. You're gonna laugh your ass off because they're talking about, now on to the MVP of the Eastern Conference Championships. He played an exciting game. He led the team. He did that. And little by little, you see Halliburton making his way towards the front. And they say, the MVP of the Eastern Conference Champions. And he takes one step as the announcer says, Siam Pascal, Siam Pascal. And Halliburton just kind of stops in his tracks, and they kind of, that Simpsons meme that you see where he kind of fades into the back again. Because he thought he was the MVP. And they announced Pascal Siakam as the actual MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, that's sad. Oh. So, scorekeeper, why do you hate the word "stole the game"? I've heard it before, but for those who haven't heard it, why do you hate that term?
Well, I don't know if I hate it per se, but
or you dislike it so much.
Well, I just
shoddy journalism
for you, quite a bit actually. Okay, it's kind of like the Hall of Fame. Okay, if you have a vote and people say, "Oh, well, it should have been unanimous," then why the hell do you having a vote? Okay, that's number one. Two, oh, they stole the game. It's like, well, either they have no right to win. I mean, what are you saying? Okay, it's game one. As a matter of fact, there is no stealing game one because it's actually become commonplace in the NBA playoff runs to lose game one to the visitor. So it's almost an absurdity to say that they've stolen game one now. It means that there's parity. For you to say that they stole, you're implying that they had no right. And why did they even bother to show up? Kind of like the thing about the voting. If it's supposed to be unanimous, why the hell do you vote then? So I really believe it's, look, I understand when stealing game one actually had meaning. It doesn't have it anymore. There's no such thing as stealing game one in any series in the NBA anymore. Would you agree with that, Big Dog?
Yes.
It did have meaning at one time. Now it doesn't. So when you say, is it shoddy journalism? It's lazy journalism. It's lazy. It's just lazy. So Matt sent me a video very quickly, and if it's the one about the ball bouncing on the wall and both runners running in, it's legal, Matt. So.
Oh, I thought maybe it was him, a video of him sitting in a chair. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
So any of the commentators that didn't say they stole game one or future Hall of Famer, thank you. Guys, it speaks for itself. The guys that are screaming future Hall of Famer, those are the single child syndrome kids. They're the ones that have to spoil the movies. They're the ones that have to tell you everything because they had no other siblings to beat the shit out of to shut them up. So when people are crying, saying, "Oh, future Hall of Famer," it's like, dude, no one cares for your opinion because it is in fact an opinion. How many times have we seen someone be called a future Hall of Famer and then their career whatever crashes and burns, and it's like, dude, come up with something better. That's been my challenge. Come up with something better. Okay. Future Hall of Famer, it's like, oh, wow, you're in journalism to tell us the most obvious? Really? Is that what it is? Think about that. If this idiot has to tell it. Sorry. Well done, Lethal. Well done. Okay. Well done. guys, it's like, what's the point? Why do we even look? Like, for someone to say this is the best team, they're going to do. Why do you even show up then? Like, come on, discuss it in its merits. Look, I went out on. Yes, I did not officially predict the Yankees to sweep the Dodgers last year, but someone called me a coward on the sideline and said, "Ooh, Rods, those are big words. The Dodgers will be swept by the Yankees." I said, if the Yankees starting pitching holds up, their starting pitching is better. I could see them sweeping the Dodgers. Now, we saw what happened. The Yankees starting pitching did not show up, and the Dodgers murderized the Yankees. It was it. But I went on air to talk about that. I said, I did not. I gave the edge to the Dodgers. I did. And in my analysis, when I did that night, and all of you saw that, I know you guys did, and I appreciate it, I gave the analysis to the Dodgers because I try to do it clinically.
Yeah.
Did I want my team to win? Look, guys, I was conflicted. Big Dog knows this. I like the Dodgers, but it's a lot more fun being a Yankee fan. It is. I like the Angels, but it's a lot more fun being a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
It is. It just is. So, but I did predict the Dodgers to beat the Yankees last year. But in the same vein, I had told someone, and someone said, dude, don't be a coward. I said, okay, fine. I did tell someone that if the Yankees started pitching holds up, they'll sweep the Dodgers. And I admitted that on air. So, it's all right. There were no future Hall of Famers on that pitching staff.
An anime girl could say how fun it is to be a Cowboys fan.
Why?
Well, see, he wanted to make the transition to football, to the NFL, because he knows, as we all do, of course, since we're all football fans here, that mandatory minicamp starts next week. So, any holdouts on the Eagle side happening, or are you guys all set and ready to go?
Yeah, no, that just happens in Dallas. No holdouts.
Oh, anime girl.
I will answer with one simple phrase: Foxtrot Oscar. I will not even go any further. Because you're a dodo, don't get carried away.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Oh my God, that was good.
Yes.
Oh.
See, I'm used to it by now. I've been a Cowboy fan since '67. I don't give a shit. You carry on, boy.
You've been a Cowboy fan for longer than I've been on this earth. You were Big Dog was 1 year old when you became a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, there you go. See,
she was a Cowboy fan. She was a Cowboys fan when they were good.
Yeah, I was a Cowboy fan that had a decent bloody team leader as well.
Hey, if you guys don't have anything else, I would like to know why you are the fan of your team. I've explained to you. I don't know if I have, but mine is backed up by, at the time, good journalism. But I'm a Yankee fan because of my father. And some people may know this or may not, but I'm going to try to tell the story as quickly as I can. I'm going to ask Anime Girl, Philly Special, Big Dog, why are they the team fans of? And I butchered English on that one, but you know what I mean. So, my father explained to me why he was a Yankee fan. When he was studying in the seminary back in the 50s, yes, he also went to seminary. I guess it runs in the family. But anyway, whatever. For the first month, at the end of every prayer, every service, they would always say, and we pray for the Yankees. This was in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
In Guadalajara, Mexico, mind you.
Wow.
And it was in Spanish, and we pray for the Yankees. And after about a month of being there, my father finally asked one of the brothers, he says, why the Yankees? He says, do you know Babe Ruth? This is the 50s. Who doesn't know Babe Ruth? He says, well, when Babe Ruth signed that massive contract with the Yankees in 1932, he didn't say 32, but in 1932, when he earned $80,000 a year, Babe famously, and this is his historical fact, that he told the Yankees, "I'm still not happy." Babe, how may we make you happy? Well, after a back and forth, the agent representing the the agent representing the Yankees and the Babe Ruth got together, and they came up with a list of about 130 different organizations. And the theme was, if you want to make me happy, the Yankees need to donate to all these organizations. Doesn't have to be in my name, but it just needs to be done. And the Yankees were like, no problem, babe. We'll do it. Now, you all know when Babe Ruth passed away. Babe Ruth was already dead. But in the 50s, it was made clear that in the seminary in Guadalajara, Mexico, they were still receiving money from the Yankees, a yearly donation.
Wow.
That was on the original list. And they weren't the only ones. There was 100 and so many agencies, Boys Town, to name a few. And you know why Boys Town got money, obviously. And I believe Girls Town was also on it too. That's why the relationship that Babe Ruth had with children was just beyond the pale. But anyway, my thing was that the Yankees were still doing it because it was a good thing to do. In 1983, I read in the USA Today sports section that George Steinbrenner was interviewed. And they asked him, Mr. Steinbrenner, is it true that the Yankees are still donating money to all these different, as per the contract? He says, oh, yeah, we do. But the contract's over. He says, yeah. Why do you do it? It doesn't hurt to have all the help you can get. That's what George Steinbrenner said. He says, it doesn't hurt to get, the prayers and stuff. But he said it's the right thing to do. In the 80s, the Yankees were still doing it. In the 50s, my father learned that they were receiving a lot of money back then. That was just one. And I look at other teams and I look at what they do, and I'm like, the Yankees are still doing that today. I'm all right with that. I like what my team does. Not a lot of people know it. They don't need to know it. I know it. And I share it with a few others. I'm okay with that. A lot of people hate the Yankees. No problem. Screw your fans with high ticket prices. The Yankees are still going to do what they're going to do. So when Lasorda said the big Dodger in the sky, no. He was wrong. He was wrong. It's the big Yankee in the sky. So anyway, that's just one little reason why I am a Yankees fan. But as even my daughter smiles, people will look at, why are you Yankees? Because it's really a lot more fun to be a Yankee fan in public than it is. So, Anime Girl, why are you a Dallas Cowboy?
Why am I a Dallas Cowboy fan? Well, a friend of mine went by the name of Leroy, served on an American destroyer called the USS Dennis J. Buckley. And he was in Hong Kong Harbor in 1967. And the USS Ranger flat top came in, and we had Big Dave on that. And there was a football game. So they said, do you want to go? So I thought when they said football, I thought they meant soccer. So, yeah, go on, why not? I'll go. So off we went, and it was some of the team from the Cowboys going around, sort of like a show that like Bob Hope did, but they had about what? They had quite a few of these guys on the football pitch, and they just said, "This is the Dallas Cowboys," and this bunch of guys came on, and they white-walled almost everybody else on the pitch. They just took them apart. The Navy team didn't stand a chance. Army team, same bloody thing. Wiped them out. And I thought, I like that. I like this. I like the uniform. It looks cool. So I asked, I think it was Big Dave I asked actually. I said, but why do you call it football? Because it's more like rugby. And he went, that's how we play football in America. Okay. I went away and I thought about it. And after that, every time the boats came in, the lads would come over and say, "There's a football match on. Yeah, let's go." To me, it was the football was Dallas, was the Cowboys, and I stuck with it. You know, I was about what 9, 10-year-old, something like that, and I just stuck with it. I thought, "Hey, let's go." I stuck with him, and Landry was the man. Was the big guy. He knew what the score was, Mr. Landry. And if Mr. Landry said, "You do," then you did. And if you didn't do what Mr. Landry said, you were out. You were gone. That to me was the lot. So that's why I'm a Cowboy fan. You're muted. Scorekeeper, you are muted. You silly man.
Anyway, sorry. Thank you, Anime Girl. Great story. Tony, please. I don't know how I muted myself and why, or someone else did. So.
Well,
senile dementia.
Tony.
I could thank my mom. She's a Steeler fan. My dad is a Lions fan. Born and raised in Detroit area. When I was born, my mom was shopping for my first winter coat, hat, gloves, scarf, and she found somehow here in Detroit a Philadelphia Eagles complete set. So she just thought it looked good. She got it for me, and she said I stuck with my team ever since. That was back in '73, but the first game I ever remember vividly watching was, actually I got the date, January 25th, 1981, when somebody's Raiders made the 7-year-old boy cry by beating my Eagles 27-10 in the Super Bowl.
I was watching that game.
I remember that game very well because it was the first time I ever cried watching football. So thank you guys. Damn Raiders.
I remember that. I remember that game.
Guys,
so do I.
This is cool. This is cool, man. Learning why. Why are you a fan of your team? Big Dog.
Tony, you said that was 1981?
Yes.
Yeah. So that would have been Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen, Howie Long, Alzado. Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Ray Guy.
I was trying to remember that game now. Yeah. Barr, yep. Ray Guy, greatest punter I think of all time. Could you tell him I need that on the 5-yard line? Damned it if he wouldn't even put it right there on the 5-yard line. Especially when you could angle it out of bounds, and that's when they had to visually figure out where it went out of bounds on. Now, of course, they don't do that, but anyways, Raiders. I don't know. I liked them since they were in Oakland. I just like their rough style, the fact that they took no prisoners, the fact that they were almost all convicts that came onto the team, and guys that had some problems with the public and had their did their time in prison or whatever, and the Raiders were one of the few teams that gave them a chance. And, John Madden didn't care, as long as you could play on the field, he didn't care what you did off the field. And it showed during those years, that they were the probably the toughest team in all of football. And I just kind of like that. I love the silver and black, the epitome of a tough team. And then they came to LA, and that really cemented my for me being a fan of their team. And of course, I have endured, or us Raider fans, we all have endured actually longer than Cowboy fans on the Super Bowl win, because I believe 81 was our last win. Can't remember if it was 81 or 84. Scorekeeper?
Well,
84 81?
83 played Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, so 83 was our last win then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
John Riggins, remember that? The guy was unstoppable. Hated that guy.
Go to the Redskins. I remember that song. Oh.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we were the underdogs in that Super Bowl. Everybody thought Riggins and the Redskins were just gonna bowl us over, and
they got blasted like 34-9 or something.
Yeah, it was a blitz.
Marcus Allen had several records
Yes.
from that
Yes.
source. I think it was the longest run from scrimmage and the most yardage of the running back, which have been broken.
And of course, you had Jim Plunkett, who wasn't the greatest quarterback. He could not throw a spiral to save his life. But man, he got the ball there wherever it needed to be. He got it there. It looked wobbly as shit. I mean, I used to watch those replays where you see the ball just kind of, but it got there. So there you go, scorekeeper. All four of us. Why are you Raiders fan? We all stayed with that. Oh, okay.
I was a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan because of my brother.
Wow.
But
Okay.
I became a football fan because of a particular quarterback from Brigham Young University. Big Dog, you know the answer. Does Philly know the answer to that one? Every now and then you hear when he was in college and then when he was with the LA Express, I just gave it away.
Yeah.
They refer to him as having the escape dimension. Do you know which left-handed quarterback I'm talking about? Bingo! Yep. I drug my dad out to an LA Express versus Oakland Invader game at the Coliseum. My father and I were not football fans, but yet he took me to the Coliseum to go see the LA Express. And that was the only football game he ever went to. And it was he and I. And I followed Steve Young all the way through. He went to Tampa Bay, and then, of course, someone by the name of San Francisco came calling. That sucked. That hurt. I never admitted to anyone that I was a Steve Young or a San Francisco 49er fan.
Well, Steve Young's probably the second greatest 49er quarterback of all time.
I need another head, bartender. Yes, Joe Montana. Clearly, no doubt.
And it's pretty crazy that
didn't they let Montana go because of Steve Young?
because Steve Young finally had matured into his spot. But pretty crazy, you have Montana, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to draft another quarterback," and you draft Steve Young, who just continued the dominance of the Niners. And same thing also for another storied franchise, which of course the Packers, had Brett Favre, and all of a sudden they draft this young kid, who they didn't think much of, and it turned out to be Aaron Rodgers, and look what he did. Of course, now we're all sour on him, but boy, that was another thing. You go like, oh, we got Brett Favre, okay, we'll get a rest. They're gonna let the backup play now, and you're like, holy shit, look what this guy can do.
Yeah, when they let Brett Favre go, it was like the world had to what's with them, and Aaron Rodgers delivered almost immediately.
Yeah, everybody thought that when Brett Favre left the Packers, that the Packers were just going to implode because they didn't have their star quarterback, and lo and behold, I think Aaron Rodgers might have broke all of Brett Favre's records. But
I thought it was going to be Don Mahowski, the Magic Man.
When Brett Favre was with the team that he was, of course, and he was 41-42, we were already on air when Brett Favre was doing his hijinks in his 40s. And there was this young kid who was part of our network at the time. He was a fan, and he would say, dude, the man is so old, dude. And I turned to him and I said, young man, you're all of 16, 17 right now. I'm in my 40s. Brett Favre is in his 40s. To see someone our age sticking it to a bunch of young kids, you have no idea how much he's. Yes. I said, you'll know this one day. That day is a long day away. And I hope you get a guy in his 40s. Oh, my God. He might be of that age now.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
You created a Rodgers fan. You created a Rodgers fan.
Eli, Lama Sabatani.
I just been reading up on the 67 Cowboys season.
Okay.
And I didn't realize this. The quarterback was Don Meredith.
Yeah.
He was the quarterback. But
Dandy Don.
yeah, but the 67 Dallas Cowboys season was their 8th in the league. The team posted a 9-5 record and won the new 4-team Capital Division. The Cowboys hosted the Century Division winner, Cleveland Browns, at the Cotton Bowl and won it 52-14 for the Eastern Conference title. This gained a rematch the following week for the NFL title with the 2-time defending champions Green Bay Packers. Played in frigid sub-zero and windy conditions at Lambeau Field, the Green Bay on December the 31st. Packers scored a late touchdown to win by 4 points and their 3rd consecutive NFL title. Green Bay easily won the Super Bowl 2 weeks later over Oakland Raiders.
Ooh. Why do you think they asked? Why?
Yeah. So, looks like we didn't do too well in 67, did we?
Yeah. I mean, every year can be the Super Bowl year, but I will say that since you brought up, the game in the cold, that is on my bucket list to go to a Packers game in the winter.
I went to Lambeau in January. They played Randy Moss and the Vikings in the playoff game. And
how cold was it?
Won. It was painful cold.
Tony,
that's bad.
Do what you people do and lift up the shirt?
No, hell no.
Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
Dude, seeing those guys pull that stupid shit and they're without their shirts, like, hey, good for you, you young little bastard. But
no. The reason they do that is because they're drunk as hell, so the liquor keeps them warm. That's why they lift up their shirts.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think seeing a game in the frozen tundra, as they love to call it,
that was cool. I went with my boss. He was a Packer. He was a cheesehead, so I didn't have any dog in the fight. I wore my Eagles because I only had.
Oh, did you really?
My winter coat was an Eagle leather coat, so that's all I had. So, and I didn't get any crap. They go, "You're not rooting for Minnesota, so we're not worried. You're fine." Okay, good deal.
There you go.
What Worf said in Star Trek. You are confused. Guys, I'm going to let you continue if you'd like. I do need to go. I'm done. I've got to be there before 10, and it's a 40-minute trip, so I'm going to have to go. But, folks, don't get me wrong. I love it when all of us are on. I love it when we're all having a conversation. Lethal Migraine, Matt Alvarez. I appreciate Gridiron Girl. I appreciate everyone else's comments. Matt Alvarez says, I'm still pissed the years that the officials gave the Raiders a loss with an index card. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is, dude. But, we go ahead and move on. But I appreciate learning the stories on why we're the fans of what we are. And it was cool. Some of you had known the story as to why. But, guys, I was in an Angel game yesterday. Cut it out, man. I'm a baseball fan. And look, Tony went there because he's a football fan too. Aisha, she's a fan of sport as well, as is the big dog. And that, I think, is what differentiates all of us. Guys, we love what we love. But I am privileged that I have 3 major league stadiums within 2 hours.
That's cool.
And that's just baseball. I have basketball. I have football. I have next year, I'm going to have 4 minor league teams within an hour. And I'm going to continue going on. I'm going this Tuesday, $2 ticket, $2 parking, $2 hot dogs. I mean, that's fan friendly, man. The Angels, the tickets that we had, great seats, they're only $27.
Wow.
That does not buy you parking at Dodger Stadium.
That's true. That's sad. That's actually sad. That parking is that crazy.
With $27, you cannot get into Dodger Stadium. I'd rather be a Yankee fan. You know what? But as I've told Dodger fans when they say, oh, it's very expensive. Oh, now you know what it is to be a Yankee fan of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s when they were the most expensive team. Remember, Big Dog?
Yeah. Don't they still have that one? Don't they still have like one section that's still like $2 or $3, something like that? But
it was $1.50 allegedly.
Yeah.
But when George Steinbrenner passed away, he said that he would never raise the bleacher seats. Well, unfortunately, the definition of Yankee Stadium bleacher seats kept getting smaller and smaller every year. And I think it's just one little section that's now open. And I think they're $250 or $350, yes. But they're still available. You cannot buy them online. You have to get them at the gate, which is kind of cool.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But they're still inexpensive. Hey, even though it's one little section. All I know is that section 304 won yesterday. I got my free jersey sub. I'm going to get it later. And guys, I want to thank the Angels. I know the team isn't doing well, but they've been winning every time I've gone. Everyone at Angel Stadium is nice. It is really cool. It was refreshing. I've been at Dodger Stadium. My nephew was shocked when I told him the Dodger dog doesn't exist anymore. He's like, oh, say it ain't so, Gascol. He's no longer there. The Dodger dog. And I think when the Dodger dog ended, Big Dog and I were like, that's not right. What's the point? That's why Big Dog and I went to enjoy a game and to have two Dodger dogs because they were really that good. The Dodger dog was known throughout the baseball universe. Just a pure Dodger dog. What does that tell you? And they got rid of it. Why? Someone came in with a better contract.
Yep.
When Dodger Stadium opened in 2021, we got Dodger dogs. They were bigger. They were very long. But it wasn't the Dodger dog that I grew up with. Dodgers, I get it. Okay. I don't have to go.
Yep.
So, but I do have to go now. And let me tell you guys, it's a lot of fun being able to go to games, and I'm glad. And not having seen my nephew in a while, it was great to see him. And I'm looking forward to doing it on a regular basis. But for now, folks, we're going to call it early because I guess they all have to go. We all have to go. Yep. Tony, thank you for joining us. Aisha, thank you for joining. Big Dog, as always, thank you for joining. Hey, Aisha, why the hell do you ask at 6:03, where's the Big Dog? Why? You should know this already. She's
I asked where the Big Dog is.
Dog.
The Big Dog is the Big Dog.
What?
Big Dog is Big Dog. He's the star of the show.
Okay, we're going to go. Sports Talk with the
I'm
guys.
not. No, I'm not.
The Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. Love you, Aisha. Love you, Tony. And Big Dog, yeah, love you too. All kidding aside, guys. Aisha, love you too.
Later, guys. Take care.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Adios.
Hey,
bye.
See you later, Matt, Lito.